Today's live stream is sponsored by FS Academy. If you want to get started with the most realistic tutorial series and missions for flight sim, you can choose from FS Academy's various products, all available to purchase from multiple websites, including our friends at Orbex and Contrail. The FS Academy add-ons, created by a real airline captain, are designed to help you get started confidently, stepping up your skills with VFR flight or IFR navigation. Their latest product, Navigator, has you navigating cross-country using real techniques, touring the landscape and mirroring a real navigational course. It comes complete with a full ground school manual and 11 tutorial missions which give you the crucial skills needed before setting off on a multi-leg bus trip across wonderful Scotland to put it all into practice. So check the link in the description and go take a look at the FS Academy website today. Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today, Friday, I think it's Friday, Friday the 12th of August. It's been a long week, good grief. Great to see lots of green in the live chat again, so welcome to all of our bronze, silver, gold frequent flyers. Liam, Badger, Jack, Blue, David A, Ian, Matthew, J Bay, Faris, the Night Shepherd, welcome folks. Doctor on board, hello. We are back in Japan. It's been far too long. One of my favourite countries in the world, and we're checking out the new Fly2 High scenery. We've got two of their new products today to look at, and Technobrain's Osaka Kansai Airport 2 in the middle. We begin our journey today at Kagoshima Airport, Romeo Juliet Foxtrot Kilo, and we're going to head initially out of runway 34 here at Kagoshima, and we're going to head northbound away from Kyushu Island up to Honshu to arrive at Osaka Kansai. Not seen the Technobrain Osaka Kansai Airport scenery yet, but purchased it the other day in preparation for this live stream. It's been out since December, I think, but Kagoshima and Miyazaki, which is at the end of today's journey, both from Fly2 High, are brand new pieces of scenery. Hope you're looking forward to it. Hope you're well. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, of course. Alberto, good morning. Nerd6, hello. Akari Moon in Japan, good morning, well, good evening to you. So all round, it's not a scenery from what I've seen so far, which is at the level of Irie Devco, for example, but it is situated in Japan, and it's just, the scenery around here is just wonderful. Kyushu is a beautiful island anyway at the best of times. There's a lot of us. Is that you, Doc, on Peach? Before we go anywhere, we'll have a good look around at the airfield. There's not much to see here. It's a small airport in the south of Kyushu, and there are elements to it with animated passengers. Craig, good afternoon. And some parts of the internal section of the terminal to explore as well. So it's quite cool. And for the first time today on the channel, we are flying our brand new Retrojet Osprey Airways 737-600 livery. Initially it was created by, beautifully designed by Paddy on the 146. It's been beautifully replicated and created and added onto the 737-600 too. Flight trial, whoops. So here we are at the terminal building, custom jetways and things as well, and there's a lot of passengers on the terrace, a bit of a viewing point there, as you can see. Not the most detailed, some of them, but there are a couple of them animated that are actually doing stuff, which is quite nice. It does bring it into life somewhat, at least. So quite a nice detail. David, can't wait to travel to Japan next year. Very jealous of that. We as I'm sure you guys know, we cancelled our trip to Japan, which was supposed to take place at the start of September, or middle of September. We've cancelled that due to sort of financial reasons. But absolutely on my list of places to go. I'll miss it dearly. P-Dragon, member for 4 months. Thank you very much for all your support. So there's a little bit of the interior. We're at stand 10 as well, just so happens. And it's more so an interior that you can enjoy from the outside, if that makes sense. Leonardo, hello to you. Takika Toji, welcome. No, all VATSIM traffic. All VATSIM traffic. We've got a busy sector, and I've just hit the wrong button. Trying to use the keyboard without looking at it from a different angle. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on from the outside looking in, which is quite nice. It gives the airport a bit of life, a bit of feel to it. Just reset this. Good grief. It's always difficult just to set a figure exactly that you want. There we go. Play-Doh people, yeah. We can go inside as well, and you can see the interior of the airport section. It's not massively detailed, but it's certainly enough. If we just go straight through to the other side here, we go to the check-in desks, if you like, the departures section of the forecourt, and you can see it's a basic interior, but performance is very good. And all round, I mean, do you need that much of a detail of interior? Probably not. I personally don't spend very much time inside. I mean, there's one issue that they need to sort out, an exclusion for vehicles just driving through the building, which is a little bit weird. I'm glad we've seen that. Rather odd. But that is it. That is Kagoshima. There's not really much else to see in relation to this airport. And there we are, plonked at stand 10. I wonder what the music had done. What happened to the music? Turns out my other half had connected to Spotify and ransacked my Spotify account. Fixed it. But here we go. Look at that. What a perfect pairing. 737 an hour Retrojet livery for Osprey Airways. It's absolutely spectacular, isn't it? Looks great. Our route today, whoops, there's the bridge. It's about an hour or so in length. Look at the haze in the background on the hills there. Absolutely spectacular. David Ale, good evening. Gav, hello buddy. Fitzy, welcome. Let's bring Navigraph up, shall we? Show you guys what we're going to be doing today. So there's our little Sector 1 up to Osaka Kansai. And initially we're going to depart out of Kagoshima on the Midai 3 departure, runway 34. We're going to climb up to at or above flight level 160 by Midai. And then we're going to head up to our final cruise of around flight level 350 today. The runway length is 3,000 meters here at Kagoshima. And runway 34, slightly shorter taxiway down Papa to Tango 1 there for a departure, using the full length as well. What would be really nice to see in maybe on a future stream is flying into here at night time to try and do the circling approach, because there are circling guidance lights on the charts there, so I'd imagine it's particularly spectacular for an arrival in the evening here. But alas, we're going to head outbound 337 degrees at or above 2,000 feet, turning right, climbing turn round to head back on ourselves, 156 degrees, up to Smiko, at or above 7,000, and then turning eastbound to Midai at or above flight level 160, and away we go. In an hour's time, we're thinking of Osaka, and we'll go through the star. But we're expecting the Becky C RNAV arrival for ILS Zulu runway 24 right via Maya. But we'll go through that in a bit more detail shortly. All the pre-flight stuff is done. Boarding is complete. Fueling, etc. all ready to go. Zato, howdy. Blue, no, it's not live time, no. As you say, it should be evening. But I've wound time back because we like to see everything that's going on in and around the airport in daylight hours. My air conditioner today is being a lifesaver as well. We've for the first time I've hauled it up. It's about 30 kilograms. I've hauled it all the way up the stairs into the flight sim room so that it can keep my PC cool and keep me cool while we stream as well. Let's get the APU fired up. APU generating power as well. So we're off the external power, but we need to think about closing the external doors and things. Center tanks are empty. We can go down here, menu, FS actions, ground services. Let's release him. Oops, wrong button. MSFS actions, ground services. I want next page, don't I? And then we can release the stairs, and that should, in turn, then also remove. We'll close the door.
Pushing back from gate 9 facing
Kagoshima. Won't be pushing back just yet, then. Liam, well, as far as I'm aware, there's still an issue with live weather being affected if you change the times. So for that purpose, I won't until we arrive in at the end of today, Miyazaki. Then on arrival into Miyazaki, I'm hoping it'll be maybe a bit of evening time, but then when we land, well, I'll wind the time back and we'll have a look at that airfield at night time. Right, to the checklist. So that's all kind of ready to go and working away. Packs are on auto, isolation valves open, bleed is on. Transponder and everything's set as well. We've done the pressure panel and the MCP is set. There's our initial climb, initial heading. And our V2 plus 10 of 136. We're in the pocket rocket today. Flight directors are on and the radio frequencies are set. So we need to make sure the chocks are removed. With the parking brake set before we do release those. Done. And we will pre-plan the pushback in preparation for whoever was at stand 9 to taxi ahead of us. Ronnie, howdy. Yeah, we flew an update in the CRJ recently. I think I've replied to your comment over on another video actually with a link to that CRJ live stream we did in Binta. I think we did, what was it? It's Gran Canaria to Marrakesh and back, something like that perhaps. I think that's the direction we want to go. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. They need to do a bit of work, the developers, in stopping the vehicles just driving around like that. It's a bit odd, just going through vehicles and things. Ulfdog, thank you very much. That's really kind of you to hit. Nice of you to hear.
Osprey 0 for taxiing via Papa 1 Tango 1 for runway 34.
Kagoshima traffic, Osprey 165, stand 10. There's push to start to face west, Kagoshima traffic.
Osprey 0 for hold for pushing back traffic.
No negative, you have a right of way, I have to wait for you.
Okay, I'll just continue it. Osprey 0 for.
Okay, so we can get the push tug ready to go. Anti-collision lights on. So, because he's already pushed whoever that was, I think it was Liam, he's already pushed back from stand 9. He's got right of way ahead of all of us. So I've called for pushback. I don't know, he said he was going to hold position, but the rules of the air state that can't happen. Unless we're on it, like we've got ATC for example, and the ATC facilitate it for whatever reason, but we don't. So we'll try and follow the rules of the air as closely as possible, with the exception of a couple of mistakes that do happen.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
Let's get rid of the music. My window's open, by the way, so if you hear some scumbag drive past on a quad bike, that's because I don't live in a particularly great area. Hopefully, my filters on my microphone actually weed that out, though.
We are cleared for start and push.
Initial mode grounds.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Oh, that's why. Let's get that off first. Packs. Throwing my train of thought there myself. There we are, let's start her up. So engine 2 first. Itsy, yeah, all flight plan, everything always gets filed prior to
pushing back from stand 1 facing south.
The stream beginning. Over 20, flick the switch to run. Fuel control lever. And we're watching engine 2 fire up. Watching these engine T's and P's rise. Making sure they're all within normal levels. We're going to depart flaps 5 today, as we usually do, but the thrust reduction altitude is 3,000 feet here at this airport, so initially we're going to be climbing like the rocket that is the 737-600, and then it will become a bit smoother. We've got climb profile 2 selected for our departure today, as you can see here. Knox, howdy. Hope you're well.
Traffic, Osprey 2472, starting on stand. We'll taxi to runway 34 via Papa 2, Papa 1, and hold at taxi 1.
There's our trim there, 6.42. I'll do 2 birds, 1 stone.
Osprey 094, holding sharp runway 34 and Tango 1.
Always make sure you've set your trim accurately, because when you retract your gear on that initial climb just after takeoff, it will become quite apparent, and in theory you could just take your hand off the stick and allow the aeroplane to just climb, and it tends to sort of naturally go into a nice climb system. Lovely, let's leave that on 1.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Full brakes, then press the park brake button to enable it now. It's more realistic, don't forget.
Lowering aircraft.
Engine 1s to 2s, check engine start switches onto continuous for engines 1 and 2.
Startup is complete.
Probe heat is on, anti-ice not required at the moment. Engine bleeds 1 and 2 can go on.
Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for
Packs
approval. Thank you and
auto,
goodbye.
recirc fan auto, isolation valve auto, APU bleed off. APU off. Flaps set 5. It's 3 notches. There goes the tug. And in Japan, in real life, what you will get, and this is one of the things I love about the culture, Japanese people, you'll get the tug, you'll get the turnaround manager over here, and they'll be standing and they'll wave you off, kind of as a bit of a blessing, if you like, for a good journey, a safe journey. Flap set, elevator set. We're going to go to system page. We're going to do a control surface checks, looking at the bottom display,
Pushing back from stand 12 after clear of traffic.
sorting elevator, rudder, and everything else. That's flight controls full and free. Engine instruments checked, and then we're going to clear the bottom screen. LNAV, VNAV need to go armed. Auto throttle goes armed. Warning recall check. And we've already got the auto brake set to RTO. Taxi lights go on, and taxi. Kagoshima traffic, Osprey 165, taxi to hold point Tango 1, runway 34 for Papa. I'm going to save myself a job. I'm going to whack that on TARA now.
490, taxi runway 34. Tango 1 via Papa following company traffic.
What do you guys think? Absolutely smashing. Looks wonderful on the on the BA 146 as well, but it just looks insanely good here. We were going to fly ANA or JAL today, something similar, but couldn't resist. Had to fly Osprey, of course. Take this one out for a spin. All the links, by the way, for the Fly2 high scenery here at Kagoshima, and Miyazaki at the end, and the Technobrain Osaka Kansai in the middle of today's live stream. All the links for those are in the description if you do fancy it. I think you can buy these Fly2 high things. Fly2 high sceneries on flightsim.to as well. Night Shepherds wishing that PMDG would release the 737-800 already. Don't think it's too far away now, to be honest. Who knows? We can only keep our fingers crossed, can't we? QNH 1009 at the moment. Flaps set 5, green light, and stab trim is set. Blue says, love the retro livery, looks absolutely awesome on the 737-2. Outstanding job whoever did that. So Tapsi's painted it onto the 737, but of course Pade did this, the original design for this, and put it onto the BA146. So the design itself goes all credit to Pade, and then Tapsi for wonderfully painting this onto the 737. Done a remarkable job making it work. Right, we're almost at the holds. I know we've got to leave 2 minutes for our routing because Liam's departed. He's going to go straight into Osaka Kansai. No holding, Liam, because we're going to be right behind you. No orbits or 360s, please. We're all going to be about 2 minutes spaced, which is exactly what we need minimum.
Kagoshima traffic, Osprey 9015 here.
And we'll be into Osaka Kansai for a long taxi. We're arriving on 24 right, so we're going to head all the way around the scenery. Not been into any of them today to check any of them out. Fuel flow, reset rate, speed speeds are checked, and NCP nav data radios are all set as well. We're going to go post lights to strobe and steady, taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on, landing lights on. Transponder is already set to TARO. We're going to press traffic mode. I'm going to select terrain mode as well because it's going to be handy for us on this departure, turning right towards the hills should we go into cloud.
Just a couple of minutes between departures. Stack up.
Oh, there's the old click bug again.
Osprey 9015, we will be holding short on Papa 34 company aircraft, pushing back.
Fly high, hello, there we go, the developer of the scenery. Awesome. Automated, good morning.
600 feet for flight level 370.
Kagoshima traffic, Osprey 165 is lining up for runway 34, 2 minute separation. If you've got any questions for Fly High in relation to any of their sceneries, any of their products, then if they're in the live chat at the moment, use the opportunity, folks, to ask them anything, basically. Line up nice on the runway. Make sure the nose wheel is centralised here. Flight ROS Sims crashed. Oh dear. Not good. The apron textures are very nice. The runway textures are quite nice as well. Performance here is very good. We are blessed it's a small airport. That's about 2 minutes. That's all looking good and is set. Okay. Get rid of this. Kagoshima traffic, Osprey 165 taking off runway 34. Midday 3 departure. Kagoshima traffic. Off the brakes. Looking at engine T's P's, stable and Toga. Push the nose forward, get a bit of weight on the nose wheel there to assist. Look at that, the Osprey livery looks fantastic in retro on this jet, doesn't it? And there's the scenery, looking great.
Increasing speed from 250 knots to 310 knots.
Look at this acceleration. V1. Bit of a crosswind for departure of about 4 knots. We're going to gear up now, and we're going to try and hold this attitude if we can. Look at that. Away we go. And look at the nose up behaviour there. So we can't stay in the drone camera for too long. We're going to keep the wings level, over 1,000. We're going to go CMD8 engaged, auto brake off. Runway turn off lights off. Gear is up. No lights. We'll pop that to the off position. CMD8 is already engaged. Engine start switches can go to off. And flaps retract as appropriate. And we're towards the 1 speed now, so let's retract to flaps 1. We can go and have a look at the views over the wings. There's the airfield from above, guys. Look at that. In fact, I've got to use the opportunity. Let's just go out here. I love Japan. Look at that. Exquisite. Just stunning, isn't it? In fact, it's even better in this sort of passenger wing view. Okay, levelling off at about 4,000 there, because it's 3,000 above ground level for acceleration upwards to our climb speeds. And we're going to monitor everything as we climb away. Love Japan. Kyushu's beautiful to fly around. Lots of great airfields around here to go and explore. Looking at the cabin pressure. Stable at the moment. We'll check it towards 10,000 to ensure that it's pressurising still properly. That's two of you had crashed desktops, that's not good. We'll let it stay in VNAV and we will wind it all the way up to 350.
Runway 34 and we'll wait 2 minutes for company separation.
There we are.
Expecting the
No lights on the
Midnight 3
flaps.
departure. Kagoshima traffic.
Swiss pit. Good afternoon. And we can see the cabin is pressurising now. Just about on that panel. Just double check the packs and everything on as well. Make sure I've not forgotten anything in the haste of departure, the excitement of it all. Seatbelt signs, everything can go off as required. Let's keep this heading bug aligned with our direction of travel. It's all a bit busy for one pilot initially, but we try and catch up where we can.
Taxi traffic, Osprey 490, airborne past 2,000.
Live weather's spectacular at the moment, isn't it? Of course, as quite a few of you pointed out, it is night time at the moment in Japan, but we've wound the time back so we can see this beautiful environment around us here. Spectacular country. One of my favourite places in the world. Approaching 10,000 feet, so it's going to be landing lights off. Another final check of the cabin pressure. And then we would pop them off, but we can do a little chime. Because the seatbelt signs are on automatic anyway. Who is that? 125, we've got ATC, folks. Tokyo Control, Konnichiwa, Osprey 165, climbing through 11,000 feet out of Kagoshima, Midai 3 departure.
Bravo Vista X-ray 165 Tokyo Control, scope 1032.
Squawk 1032, Osprey 165.
Bravo Vista X-ray 0905 Tokyo Control, scope 1017.
Having a mare. Squawk 1017, Osprey 165.
Bravo Vista X-ray 165, your scope 1032.
Apologies, squawk 1032, Osprey 165. Caught me out there.
Bravo Vista X-ray 0905, scope 1017.
Holding short Tango for runway 34 at Kagoshima.
Jan, hello. Very good, thank you. Hope you're well. Climbing, look at that, 3,500 feet per minute. Awesome. Such a great aircraft. It's about 30 pounds. Climb maintain flight level 350, Osprey 165. So, this is one of the beauties of flying in Japan on VATSIM. You get You get the accents.
Okay, control, Osprey 094.
Their English is exceptional, but our ability sometimes to understand them through the Japanese accent can be quite difficult at times. But it adds so much to the realism, and it demands a bit more from you as a pilot as well, because you're having to concentrate that extra little bit to make sure you're listening. Oh, Alex, had to crash the desktop as well, not good.
1010.
This is part of the Osprey Airways tour of the land of the rising sun.
1017 for Osprey.
One of our Osprey Airways achievements. Kagoshima is including the tax. It's about 19 euros. It's about 17 quid UK money. Not sure what that would be in Australian dollars without working it all out. Their Miyazaki is 18 euros, so about 16 quid. So it's a little bit cheaper in that sense. Both very nice by the looks of what I've seen so far, and in one of my favourite countries to fly around. Do a quick check. 280. There is the coast of Kyushu, and actually, if I think about this, where's Valanta? Yeah, so down here, Miyazaki is off in the coast. Sorry for the panning around and everything. Miyazaki's down here. I'm really looking forward to flying into that that airport there. Never been to Miyazaki on MSFS. Look at that. Just stunning, isn't it?
Is that for Osprey 99015?
Negative. Osprey 094, stroke 1017.
Oh, sorry about that. Osprey 094, 1017.
Osprey 490 target radar contact. Current temperature level 350. Confirming 350.
Now, if you're wondering, why have we got a November and NREG aircraft for Osprey? And that is because I had quite a lot of requests from folks in the States asking, there's a few people that are saying all the Osprey liveries are G-registered. Now, that's because it's the British Avgeek channel, so they were G-registered, but...
Osprey 9015, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Osprey 9015, stroke 1033, runway 34 and for me.
Roger, Roger, squad 1033 and line up and wait 34 for Osprey 9015.
Just taking it in, making sure I'm paying attention to the controller here. Weird Boss in Japan, hello, welcome. Yes, 25 Australian dollars. Like you're saying there, Night Shepherd, you can get Kagoshima and Miyazaki in a Japan bundle from Fly2 High on flightsim.to, and the link for that is also in the description. Paola, yes, it will be on my list of things to do once I get around to sort of covering a few of the little bits first. But we got a lot to try and cover on the channel over the next couple of weeks. But I will try and do Houston. As Racer, it is all by pushback on flightsim.to. I've done a video on it showing you how to use it all the features on it as well, so do check that out before you decide if you want to purchase it. Sorry, not purchase it, download it. It's freeware.
November 3, 368 kilo, regional navigation, direct Fabry, ground temperature level 450.
Now, because we've got...
Resume on navigation, direct Sabri, 68 kilo.
Because we've got a short flight, about an hour, what I've done is I've already added in the RNAV arrival into Osaka Kansai. And I'm hoping we're not going to get a shock with a different approach. But, oh, actually, Kansai approach is online, 122.5.
Osprey 094, can you please repeat?
Osprey 094 direct to Karin, Kilo Alpha Romeo India November.
Good in.
Osprey 094 direct to Karin.
250.
Osprey 9015 window 0800303 runway 34
So we'll pre-tune that ready.
Copy and wind clear for takeoff, runway 34 for Osprey 9015.
Top of descent at Brave, roughly there, look. Liam, no worries at all. No, yeah, a bundle. It brings the price down a little bit more. Thank you to everybody that's already hit the like button. It's great. 41 likes, and we've only just departed. Love it. Appreciate it.
Linear drone 5 direct to Sarani, Sierra Alpha Lima Mike India.
What we got? That's the overhead panel. Should remember my own keybinds really. Konnichiwa, Flappy Boy. Hope you're okay.
Tokyo Control, Airport 200.
Jeff says, don't even want to think about how much I've spent on scenery. But if it makes the sim look so realistic and you get that high level of immersion, then it's money well spent. Grant, hello buddy, welcome. Asking, I'm looking to get a flight yoke Turtle Beach Velocity 1. Turtle Beach Velocity 1 looks good, how are you finding it? Now I've had mine for, I think maybe, was it 7 or 8 months now? Absolutely love it, it's so good. It works very well with the BA 146 from Just Flight, it works amazingly with this, the 737. Matthew's got it as well, saying there it's an awesome yoke. Yeah, I love it. No regrets at all. It is an awesome bit of kit. Lots of buttons, lots of configurable options.
Tokyo Control, konbanwa. There are 7 or 8 now, inbound Lana to fly about 370.
So you can see our short journey here. Not long. David's got Velocity 1 as well from Turtle Beach. Very happy with his one, that's good to hear. I've still not bothered with the SIP panel, the light up display with park brakes and all that. Have any of you guys with the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 set the profiles up for that?
Flight level 330, Osprey 490.
Shame I can't get British Av Geek custom Turtle Beach Velocity 1 kits with the logo imprinted on it. That would be cool. Maybe I could self-engrave it.
No, I didn't copy the last Osprey 490. Sierra Uniform Charlie. Sierra Uniform Charlie, Osprey 490.
Just going to turn the controller up. It's, yeah, Osaka Kansai approach is online as well. There's the C chord, so 1,000 below.
Osprey 094 Tokyo Control.
Yeah, Liam, you've been given a direct 2. You're up here somewhere, but you're in an A330 or something, aren't you? So you should be going a lot faster than we are. Wolfdog, yeah. We're not so much a return flight, but we're doing a second sector. We're going to head down to Miyazaki Airport instead, which is Romeo Juliet Foxtrot Mike, which will be our final destination today. As Race has been super tempted to save up for the honeycomb set because of the ability to customize it to the plane you're flying on the throttle quadrant.
Tokyo Control, Osprey 99015.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
What altitude do you want me to be at?
That's pretty neat.
Roger, 370, 9015.
With the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 on the throttle unit, there are 10 buttons. There's a general aviation, Cessna style pull out, throttle proper, mixed gear lever, 4 throttles, and you've got an actual trim wheel. And then on the yoke, you've got 2 10 buttons. You've got 2 top hats. You've got rocker switches as well. All really easily configurable. See just off in the distance there, up ahead, the beginning of Honshu, but actually there's a small sort of island in a way, kind of connected to Honshu, but has Tokushima and things like that on it.
Direct to Hotel Alpha Kilo Kilo Alpha coordinate 921. Union 1718 direct to Hakka Hotel Alpha Kilo Kilo Alpha.
Direct Hakka and our
Matthew, I might have to have a play then to try and get that SOP working. It'd be great to see the lights for parking brake and things illuminate, to know if you've got them switched on or not too. That's one of the things I really like about getting the SIP working. Will be quite cool because it's got a whole load of lights on a panel on the behind the yoke, telling you if your flaps are down, if the stall warning's going off. If you're flying small aircraft, you get low voltage warning. That should, in theory, be able to go off. Master caution, master warnings, park brakes and things like that too, which is really cool. You also get a couple of extra knobs, so you can pull off the throttles on the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 throttle system. You can pull it off and you can pop on like a speed brake style thing, and you can set up a keybinds for it to become a speed brake instead, which is really neat. But I like the simple things in life.
Sierra Uniform Charlie, was that correct?
Okay, let's have a look at what we expect for the approach, shall we, folks? Because we will be on top of our descent in no time. Becky Charlie arrival into Osaka Kansai, so that's there. Max 230, at or below flight level 140, max 240 above flight level 140. Descending down to Awaji and or above 7,000. Inval Lilac and then Maya 4,000 feet as we pass overhead Kobe Airport. And then we're sort of flying around in the bay here. It's almost like a circling approach, but it's all prescribed tracks. Then the ILS Zulu looks like this. So over past Kobe, almost flying a downwind leg comparative to the location of their runway. Down to 2,600 feet. Round to Beige, 10 DME. So I'm going to set a 10 DME fixed ring around the Kansai VOR. And then we'll set a 6 mile fixed ring around the threshold, which actually won't be too different. But there's the ILS frequency, 238 for the course, 108.5 for the frequency, Kansai VOR treble 1.6, and Kobe treble 1.25.
Osprey 2472.
And you can see there we want to be on the glide slope from 1,600 feet. Minimums, I'll just put 223, Cat 1, I'll hand fly the approach, 1 up. So we will set 223. We need to know what our landing elevation is as well. Which will be 50. Like so. 80 miles to top of descent, which is why we're already now thinking about the prep for the arrival. And let's set some of these VORs and the frequencies we need. So 1116.
Osprey 9105 Tokyo Control.
Who is that? Who's gone AFK? Trouble 16. We also want 11125. Let's put that in the active box there, and then 1085. So they're both ready.
Osprey 094, descend 160 to
238.
Osprey 094 160
160 via Curry for Osprey 094.
.238 for the course. On both of those, and then we can go to the fixed rings here, and we'll do KIE 10. Go next page, we'll do runway 24 right at the threshold, and we'll do 6 miles. And that's just going to be beyond beige anyway, I think. Let's change it to 5. That's a bit better. Descent forecast is already done, but we need the QNH. 1007. And the transition, flight level 140. On the charts, at least, it says that. So we will assume that until we're told otherwise. And then we've got 60 nautical miles to top of descent. There's a lot to do on this aeroplane, but that's what makes it really, really nice to fly. Swamp just purchased Skiathos as it's on sale. Awesome. You won't regret it. It's a fantastic piece of scenery, that. Tapsy, hello buddy. We're here. December 10330, Osprey 165. I knew this would happen. Commentator, hello.
Whenever the Unicom, thanks for the ATC, have a good day, 6 kilo.
Anyway, as we descend, till we get told something else, let's enjoy the livery again. Send to reach current flight level 160, Osprey 165. Descend flight level 160 by current, Osprey 165.
105, descend to reach flight level 220 by stance.
Descend flight level 220 by stance, standard C105.
Let's let this settle, see what we get. Jonathan, welcome. 2400 should be quite a good one there, gives us a bit of leeway. Down we go, folks. In towards Osaka Kansai. It does require you to really focus when you're flying parts of the world on VATSIM, where you might experience some heavier accents, but it does make stuff so much more realistic. It's so much more enjoyable. What it does, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, it's called capacity bucket. So as you're trying to fly the aeroplane and do everything that's designed for 2 people, you're then also trying to focus on word for word exactly what somebody is telling you through the accent, trying to get that information that's important and use it, read it back. Your capacity bucket fills up. Nerd 6, yeah, but you've also got the banana there, that bottom of descent marker, so you can kind of flex it and tailor it to what you need.
Roger, direct the Sierra Uniform Charlie for...
So the aircraft's now recognised we've already now committed into the descent. We can do that.
Sierra Uniform Charlie, airpitch 200.
And what we can do is just go into VNAV if we really want to, but that way the aeroplane can calculate where it needs to be and it will reach 160 by Karen. But actually I've asked it to go a little bit below that, so we get ahead of it basically. We don't ever really do too many vertical speed related descents in this as well, so might as well use the opportunity there. As we're into top of descent now though, and we can think about arrival into Osaka Kansai, the runway's 4,000 meters long, and if I could get off at Bravo 7, so that's about 2,000 meters in, I'm going to set auto brake 2, use reverse as well. It's going to be a much more efficient taxi. We want flaps 3 for the approach, as long as we remember that. We've already done all of the weather. Let's activate the VORs, get them tracking. And we need to make sure our altimeter's set, so it was 1007. So that's set.
Expect LDA whiskey, runway 22 approach. Clear the Osaka on Bravo arrival.
Expect LDA whiskey 22 approach and clear Kagoshima Bravo arrival. That is C105.
C105 descend via start 1 Victor.
Descend via start 13,000. That is C105.
Osprey 4990, descend to reach level 160 by calling. Osprey 490, descend to 160 by...
A lot of system management here. And you can tell I'm focusing more than I usually do because I've a little bit quieter. 50.5. We'll call it 50.6. And we'll go flat 30. License on, course 24 right, course is correct as well, matches what we've already set in there. Do a quick warning recall. Auto brake set. Now we just got to fly the plane.
AP618, take out left Becky.
AP618, direct to Becky.
So it's always good to have a distinctive call sign, Paris. Yuki Sim, how are you? Hope you're okay. Yeah, commentator needs to get back on VATSIM, saying it's been too long. Who's Osprey 0944? Was it 1094?
10035 for Osprey 094.
12025.
Osprey 094, could you please set that out?
120.25.
120.25 for Osprey 094, thank you.
It's in V pilot, Liam. This is what you always. That's why you've always got to prep. I think one controller ahead of where you are, folks. Top tip for VATSIM: always be one controller ahead. So get your next frequency primed and ready to go. Sending into Kyushu. Obviously Japan was one of the first countries to have a world update back in the day, early beginnings of MSFS. Jonathan, a lot, and most of us are in the Retrojet, which is very fun, stunning. Little dinky pocket rocket. Looks like we will reach Curran 160 quite nicely. Let's just bring this rate of descent down a bit. We'll try 220. Let's go to 2,000 foot per minute actually, see what it does.
Tokyo Control, airbridge 200. I think we are unable to reach
Awesome.
the cruise level. Maybe we can request lower cruise level.
Go for 1,800 foot per minute now. We're just going to flex that banana a bit closer towards Karin.
310.
Hopefully Liam doesn't slow down too much because I've just seen him pop up on TCAS there all of a sudden. And we want to do a final check here. No discontinuities that we
310.
expect. Jeff, yeah. Pretty much. There we are, over Honshu now. The main island of Japan, out of the main... Contact Kansai approach 120.25, Osprey 165, arigatou gozaimasu. What have we got here? Kansai approach, good evening, Osprey 165, 737-600, QNH 1007, descending flight level 160 by Karin.
Osprey 165 Kansai approach, good evening, clearway Vicky Charlie arrival. Expect ILS Zulu runway 24 right approach.
Becky Charlie arrival, expect ILS Zulu runway 24 right approach, Osprey 165.
Best thing I like about your channel is the variety in aircraft and locations. Keep up the good work.
There goes the dog. Andrew, thank you buddy, really appreciate it. So what?
Osprey 165, descend on maintain 12,000.
Send 12,000 feet, Osprey 165. So VNAV won't do anything here because we're below the profile. We're on vectors, so it's no use. What we'll do is we'll just bring our speed down. We'll aim for 240 because the charts say... Get rid of the music there so I can focus as well on all of this. Charts say max 230 knots at or below flight level 140. So max 230, I'll set 225. And we'll bring that speed down at the same time. I might do to 1400 here just to slow us down a bit quicker. You see that on the speed tape there on the PFD, bringing it all down a bit faster. Just trying to keep the deceleration favourable as well. Everything's a balancing act basically. We're going to go over Tokushima Airport, Romeo Juliet Oscar Sierra, before heading up towards Kobe.
For 1 minute 30 seconds.
Okay.
Osprey 094, we're going to be out of the cockpit for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
So that's one thing that you shouldn't really do. If you're starting to... If you're entering an approach phase, you can't really walk away from the flight deck. .707 liner, good day to you, good evening. Faris, it's in Discord, buddy. It's the Becky Charlie arrival, ILS 24 right Zulu via Maya. If that helps. It's written in Discord in the live stream thread at the top of the server if that does help.
094 declare direct right duck.
Let's go standard pressure, and I'm just popping the speed brakes out into flight detent mode here, just to help decelerate a bit quicker because we are below flight level 140 now. We want to bring our speed right down. Might set 220 here actually. There goes the altitude C chord. Just do 850. Smooth that out. Cabin's depressurizing nicely.
Osprey 490 Kansai approach. Clear the way, Becky, Charlie arrival. Expect to ILS Zulu runway 24 right approach.
Okay, descending the Becky.
Oh, Jeff, you got it. It's so good. Get rid of the spoilers before the auto thrust fights the deceleration, the drag from the spoilers there.
Osprey 094, descend and maintain 7000.
Which is going to be our next altitude descent. So we can hear what's happening to Liam in front, and from there we can preempt. We can expect that next on our side.
Osprey 094, descend and maintain 7000.
Osprey 094, can you please repeat?
Yeah, it's insane value, Jeff, for what you get for this PMDG 7376. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. KCE is Kobe, so let's just flick that across the active for the ILS. Get that pre-tuned, ready to go. Amarok, thank you very much, Jonathan. Glad to hear it. And this down here is Tokushima. There is an airport here. Haven't seen it, haven't ever flown into it either. But through the cloud, beyond.
Osprey 165, descend and maintain 10,000.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, Osprey 165.
Osprey 490, descend and maintain 12,000.
There we are. Try and see if we can see the airport from here. Probably not.
490, descend and maintain 12,000.
12,000, Osprey 490.
Osprey 094, declare direct right duck.
Fukushima. There's the CBD. Airport's usually not too far from it, but I think it's just out of view for us. There it is. In the bay. Lovely. Ah, I love Japan. There's the thousands. Might as well pop the lights on because I will forget. Put the lower light on as well, why not? Show everybody the tail. 238s, both set as well for the approach. We know what we're doing with that. That's good. We've got about 10 miles to Nolto. So we pass past Takashima, turning left and then a right turn up towards the bay. Never been to Osaka before. Only ever been to Tokyo. Water brake 2 is what we're using. Going to be reverse on both. Olstag, you're loving it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's just a wonderful place. There's a lot of really good freeware scenery as well. Jesus!
Osprey 094, descend and maintain 4,000.
Osprey 094, descend to 4,000.
Oh, I think we're deaf. Oh.
Osprey 165, declare direct right duck.
Direct lilac, Osprey 165. Little shortcut, so we can get to the doctor and get the tinnitus seen to. We're going to get descend 7,000 shortly. There's Takashima.
Osprey 094,
Tokushima.
clear for ILS Zulu runway 24 right approach.
Osprey 094, maintain 4,000, cleared ILS for runway 24.
Osprey 490, additional and maintain 10,000.
Set and maintain 10,000, Osprey 490.
Robbie, exactly, yeah. Absolute street food heaven. It's like the home of Japanese street food, isn't it? I'm going to fly through this little wispy bit of developing cloud there. Andy, good afternoon.
Approach AFC 618 is descending to flight level 220 for flight level 190. APC 618 Kansai approach. Clear via Becky Charlie arrival. Expect RS Zulu runway 24 right approach. Kansai QNH 2973. Kansai approach, can you say again the approach, please? APC 618. APC 618 Becky
Do 225 here until we do start to decelerate. We'll go right up towards the max speed. In fact, let's do 230. And then we can probably expect
approach, expect RS Zulu runway 24 right
4,000 by Maya.
AP 618 squad 2 altimeter 2973. APC 618 descend on maintain caution descend on maintain level 160.
Holds at Lilac if we do declare a missed approach. Sanders, hello to new to VATSIM, just started yesterday watching your guides. Good to hear, hopefully they've been useful. I'm wondering what kind of map you use to see the controller frequency where you are on the map. So I don't look for where I am on the map, I kind of just look outside and I use the information on the nav display. In relation to selecting the controllers, I just look at the vPilot client and you have the list. So this, I can see RJBB app is under the approach tab. I know that is, if you double click it, you can see it says Kansai approach. Blinked yet, in the future, I think beyond November they're looking to do that.
Clear to Tokyo International Airport via East Stream 1 departure, shuttle transition, flight en route maintain 9000, expect level 310, salt 1305 on the power 990.
24 990, read back is correct. Osprey 165, additional and maintain 7,000.
Send maintain 7,000, Osprey 165. Watching our speed here. We are below 10. That's all on.
Additional and maintain 12,000. Is it maintain 12,000? Osprey 490, record ISO Lilac.
Osprey 490, direct Lilac.
Stunning, isn't it? V60, I've got a couple of basic go-around tutorials which aim to kind of help you
for approach. Osprey 2472 is with you at flight level 160
with it all.
Overhead, carry in.
Osprey 2472 Kansai approach, cleared via Becky Charlie arrival. Expect RS Zulu runway 24.
It's clear, Kobe. So we want down here 1085.
Confirming Becky
That's
Charlie
the two ILSs now.
Runway 24 left.
We'll leave the VORs armed because if we do go around, we need to flick nav 1 to Kansai. There's our fixed rings, 10 miles, 5 miles. Missed approach is 3,000.
Osprey 165, additional and maintain 4,000, cleared for RS Zulu runway 24 right approach.
Set maintain 4,000, cleared ILS Zulu approach runway 24 right, Osprey 165.
Osprey 490, additional and maintain 7,000.
Let's get the speed bleeding off to 180 now.
Kansai control, Kansai approach, Osprey 901.
Do 850 for now.
160.
Osprey 9015 Kansai approach. Cleared via Becky Charlie arrival. Expect RS Zulu runway 24 right approach.
He's cleared us for the ILS, so basically we can fly the remainder of this approach past Kobe, and then we can fly the ILS and head on down to Osaka Kansai for the first time in a long time, with Technobrain scenery as well, which I've never seen before. So it's going to be all new with this epic livery that we've got.
Kansai approach on the bound 9990, spot 18, request push 5 and start up.
249990 push back up, runway 24 right.
If runway 24 right on the bound 9990.
Do 700. I might help bleed the speed off. As long as we're at 4,000 by mile, which is up here, just where that banana is, just beyond the banana, we're going to be okay. You can see the missed approach in blue there. So overflying Kansai's, Osaka Kansai's VOR, we're going to head away from Kansai up the blue line to Lilac for the hold. 215, so speed's bleeding away quite nicely now. Andrew saw BA146 yesterday land at Nanaimo in Vancouver Island. Very cool. Made his day. Not sure if reactivated in service. Pretty cool. That's Kobe up here. Really good freeware scenery for Kobe, though I neglected to install it today because I forgot. Although it isn't where we're flying, so too worried about it. Bring that round, make sure our collar's on max.
Osaka approach, Osprey 2472.
Almost at the flaps up speed.
Could you just confirm the QNH for me, please? Osprey 2472.
Osprey 2472, I'll have runway 24 right.
Right, it's 24 right, but what is the current
1007 for QNH. Oh, we've got tower now, 1182.
Osprey 2472, natural baby noisy.
Osprey
2472, direct or Lilac.
Direct to Lilac for Osprey 2472.
What's our V speeds expected to be here? 123.
Osprey 490, listener advent 4000.
128. Look how slow we are.
Should have maintained 4000, Osprey 490.
Brilliant.
APT 618, listener advent 7000.
Speed's good, flat 5. What we got here for wing views? Yes, there we go.
Osprey 094, contact Kansai Tower, 1 byte decimal 2.
11.2 for Osprey 094.
Thank you very much to our controllers today, connecting all of a sudden for us.
Osprey 9015, listener advent 3000.
Look at these clouds just above Osaka, rather ominous, aren't they? We'll be climbing back through all of this, and that rain. That's right down to surface level there.
210,000 for Osprey 2472.
Wow. Plus 25 degrees the outside air temperature at the moment, so all good.
APT 618, listener advent 4000. System making 4000. Osprey 490, cleared for RS.
That's cool.
Right approach.
That's so cool.
Osprey 490, continue, or cleared for the Island Zulu 24 right approach. Osprey 490.
I'll try and get a screenshot of that. There we are. That's on Volanta. Weird Boss says, by the way, there is a typhoon just near to Japan coast. Which side? In what part? Wolfdog, it was never certified for winglets, apparently. Fun fact for you. Auto brake 2 is looking good. That's already set. Nav course frequencies checked. Speed is in limits, so we're slowly retracting the flaps as we go. We can arm the speed brake now, and we can then pause on the checks as we wait for the approach mode and the ILS interception very shortly. Into rain. We could turn that on, but we don't need them. And the aeroplane tells us that TR on or above 10 degrees.
To heading 070 for Osprey 9015.
Osprey 9015.
4,000, we're there. Let's continue to 16.
IPH 61 report speed.
Say again, AP 618.
IPH 61 report speed.
I'll report at speed. AP 618.
It's an interesting approach, this. We'll go down to 160 now, and we're going to go to flap 10. We're basically going to sweep in around the base, as we can see there through this rain. There's Liam on approach. Osaka Kansai is just there. How epic is this?
Osprey 165 contact Kansai Tower 118.2.
Contact Kansai Tower 118.2. Arigatou gozaimasu. Osprey 165.
Hey.
Kansai Tower, Kinishiwa, Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, Kansai Tower, Konnichiwa, runway 24 right, the wind is 180 at 4, continue approach.
Continue approach, Osprey 165. Beige at 1,600. 800 foot per minute's pretty nice. And from Beige, we're going to be 8 miles to the threshold. So we're flying this like a normal ILS, but the beauty of this is, well, fantastic scenery. What have we got here? Like this. There's Osaka in the distance. But it's not your typical approach, really. It's almost like flying into Tokyo Haneda, where you fly in through the bay. You're configuring around on like base leg, if you like, before you're making your way around. It's quite interesting. We'll bring this down to 600 foot per minute for the approach now. Beige at 1,600 is what I want. We'll hold 160. Flaps 10 at the moment. 5E60, thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Very generous of you. Pop this in here. 123 matches what we calculated as an estimate earlier from our planned landing weights. The speeds are good. They match. And turning base. Through 2,000. So in the turn, it does lose the altitude a little quicker.
Osprey 904, welcome to Kansai, left Yankee, safe parking.
That's good. We'll level off at 1.6 now.
Love the content.
Okay, we'll get that for you in a minute. We can take any available gate.
Ooh, who's that?
Osprey 165, the runway 24 right, clear to land, wind 180 at 4.
Clear land, runway 24 right, Osprey 165. This is going to be interesting. Let's put these onto continuous. Good grief, it's all going on.
Osprey 094,
But
can you get stand 1016?
Jesus Christ.
256 actually. Osprey 094.
I thought you said 256?
Yes, 256 for Osprey 094 please.
Alright, Osprey 0.
Get down.
Taxi Yankee,
Laps 15. There's somebody up there, look. 130. You're gonna have to ignore the dog. Sorry, guys. He's just going off on one now because Amazon are here. We'll set 142. As we decelerate, I'm going to aim to sort of do a little bit more work here, and I'm going to set approach mode. Single channel. Yeah, that way too loud, horrendous. Flaps 30. Waiting for the glide slope. So CMD-A, CMD-B, continuous ignition, make sure the anti-ice and stuff is off. We don't really need it at the moment. Landing gears confirmed down, and flaps 30 green. Set for landing. Go around altitude now needs to be set to 3. Glide slope's alive, and we will sort out the rest of it as required. 128 is what we want, so let's get the speed sorted before the glides. Dog in the cabin. So he's loud enough to be sat here. What he's done is he's curled up just behind the seat, out of view.
I see 094. It looks like someone's going to be parked in 256. Can we take 257 instead?
No, you can taxi right to Juliet 4, then right to the gate for Osprey 94.
Right, Juliet 4.
Auto throttle.
Taxi Zulu for 257. Osprey 94.
Let's fly it in all the way, shall we, folks? 1,300 feet. Just going to let the aeroplane settle here, actually, a second. I'll take the autopilot off.
Start up on 990, continue taxi via right to Yankee to holding point to Bravo 1.
What do we reckon?
Continue taxi via
Landing rating. Pop it in the live chat. Ah, David, it was you with cancelled approach clearance. Was it just because we all ended up a bit bunched, or were you just not quite configured ready for it?
1,000.
2 red, 2 white on the Pappies at the moment. I've been looking at the PFD though more than anything else, and actually my speed's slightly above where I want it, but that's fine. And I'll use the fact that the glide slope's just a little bit above us now to help that speed come down, and I'll just trim accordingly. He says, and then you change your throttle setting. What it does is it then requires you to retrim. A little bit to the left now. Bring this nose down a bit here because we've lost the glide slope somewhat. But we are doing it quickly enough that we can actually do something about it before we get to minimums. We can actually tackle it and get back on profile. Just watching the speed as well, carefully here.
Approaching minimums.
Look at that, back on the PFD, boom. But we're looking at the threshold now, we're looking at the touchdown aiming point. We're nice and stable. We're looking to the end for the depth perception as well. That's how you learn where to flare.
30, 20, 10.
Idle the throttle, hold the flare. Boom, that'll do. Reverse. Green, gently down on the nose. Minus 228.
Airport 525 Kansai Hello 30 Fukuoka Airport via LN2 departure, Harbor transition, flight 5 right, maintain 9000, expect flight level 240, squawk 1337.
And we're okay, Bravo 7 like we hoped.
Clear to Fukuoka via LN2 departure, Harbor
Bit of a higher speed exit.
Flight plan route, maintain 9,000 feet. Expect to fly level 240, squawk 1337.
Disarm the speed brake.
Welcome to Kansai, stay parking.
If I've no preference.
Osprey 165, taxi Juliet 4, right Zulu, distance 256.
Taxi Juliet 4, right Zulu, stand 256, Osprey 165.
Airport 525, read back correct, information here, right, runway 2 for right, for departure.
256.
Roger, information on Sierra, runway 24 right, report when ready.
Okay, landing lights can go off, runway turn off lights off, taxi lights on. That onto that, we can pop those off.
Osprey 09 foot disconnected.
Robes off.
Thanks for flying. Have a good day.
APU start, we're going to left here. I think we're going up to where Liam is up here.
Kansai Tower on about 990, ready for takeoff.
On about 990, continue runway heading.
Just looking at parking spots here to...
Clear for takeoff.
Continue runway heading, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff.
Right, Zulu, stand 256. Actually can't find them on the charts here. That's Papa.
Kansai Tower, this is Lima November Alpha 993 at stand 9. Aircraft is A320 with information Sierra. QNH is 1007, requesting IFR to Miyazaki.
Speedline, thank you. Got one sector ahead of us yet. Surface painted. 256. Okay, that's literally this stand here. So taxi lights off. How's the APU coming along? Quite nicely.
Expect flight level 320, squawk 1336.
There we are, 256. Bring the flaps up. 707 liner, absolutely. Technobrain's Osaka Kansai, the performance here is exceptional. There's not any stutters or anything so far. And it's a huge airport in real life. Let's get rid of engine 1.
Osprey 247 Kansai Tower, follow 750, on the roll, caution wake, turbulence from
Liam, have a good day.
Osprey 247 Kansai Tower, hello, the 750, on the roll, runway 24 right, clear to land, wind 18024.
Clear to land for Osprey 2472.
Anti-collision lights can go off.
On up on 990, maintain 3,000 feet for me.
Okay.
Maintain 3,000 on the power 990.
We've got a few to land. Look at the size of this airport. You got the bridge as well modelled in, off in the distance there. Very, very cool.
Contact Kansai departure 120.25 and flight.
We've got a few on approach, so what we'll do is we'll just spend a few minutes watching the approach line with everyone else. You guys can listen to the ATC and things as well. And I'm just going to reconfigure the Simbury flight plan for our next leg. He's looking a bit, actually he's looking really nicely on profile there. Look at that, the livery's fantastic. I can't get over how good that looks.
Beach 525, request engine start up.
So we're going to be going RJBB to RJFM next.
Tower, this is Kansai Tower, good evening, Osprey 901 provisional localizer for runway.
I'm going to say 340, flight level 340.
Adults TL1, Osprey 9015 Kansai Tower, hello, runway 24 right, clear to land, wind is 180 at 4.
Copy on the wind clear to the runway 24 right for Osprey 9015.
Osprey 2470, welcome to Kansai Sea Parking.
Second for Osprey 2472, sorry?
I actually kind of wish now I requested specific parking stands at the main
other company traffic
terminal building, really.
Osprey 2470, can taxi left to Yankee,
So,
right to Juliet.
let's have a quick look at the airport. That's what we're here for. Technobrain's Osaka Kansai. Not seen it before. Vast area. Now that's pretty impressive. I want to taxi over that.
257 for Osprey 2472.
Airport 200, Kansai Tower, yes.
Look at this. Absolutely mega. Huge airport. Performance, you wouldn't even know you've got the scenery installed. Performance is really, really good.
Airport 200, Kansai Tower, hello, your 4 miles in travel 737, reduce the minimum approach speed runway 24 right, continue approach, the wind is 180 at 4.
Minimum speed and continue approach to 4.
There's a few of the guys. They had a crash to desktop outbound from our departure. Not sure if there's an interior for this, but I'm curious. Don't think there is. No. Do we need it though? Not really. Wonderful bit of scenery. It's nice they've done the external elements as well, like the little beacon down the bottom there on the pier. And then the most impressive thing is the bridge there in real life, because obviously the airport is built on a man-made island just off Osaka. VOR down at the bottom of the screen there. Kansai. That's cool. Just a whistle-stop tour. It's not the feature-focus airport today. We're focusing on Fly2 highs, 2 new products. We're off to Miyazaki next. Zoom, zoom, go to motorbikes. And we've got 1 aircraft on short final. There he is. Look how small the 737 looks. Little dinky jet. Fantastic. That helicam now, heli TV. Oh, that looks like an absolute silky smooth landing there. Great effort. There we are, on the remote stands just off in the distance. So we can hit the 5, reset the drone camera. I think that's David there, he's gone off towards the Peach folks. The other Osprey's just vacating there. We're going to go for, is it 7 and 20 usually, isn't it? It's my lucky numbers for the small jets like the 736. There we are. Got another one on short final as well, but we need to think about all of our actions. So ground services, we need the chocks.
With the company aircraft as well.
Sure thing, Osprey 9015 taxi Juliet 4 and then let's see right Sierra 5 descent 255.
Roger, Juliet 4.
We need 5410 kilos of fuel. We can just add it in here for a quicker turnaround.
Taxi right to Whiskey 9 right there and then
payload 122 passengers this time. Miyazaki's the place to be. Zero fuel weight's 50.8, so we need to add a bit of weight. Happy days. There's the Peach. So obviously we've mirrored, well those aircraft have mirrored what our aeroplane is doing. It's the same. Rish, hello. Paris on final. I think that might have been you there that I've just missed. Oh, is this the airport that's sinking underwater? I'm not actually sure, you know. Plus, Mike, hi. Right, need to refresh. New flight.
Turn left Yankee, airbase 00 and second, please.
Kansai to Miyazaki, and our alternate is Fukuoka.
Follow the company, please.
Ah, David, yeah. Really old.
Taxi, let's do. Right, Juliet. Actually, hold short of Juliet 4 on Yankee.
Hold short Juliet 4 on Yankee, airbase 00.
New flight from Simbrief. We're going to clear our Navigraph screens.
Taxi straight Sierra 6, right to Juliet 4, and then left to Zulu to the gate.
Taxi straight ahead and then turn left on Juliet 4, Frostbite 2472.
It's right to Juliet 4, then left on to Zulu.
Right on Juliet 4 and left on to Zulu, Frostbite
Nice
2472.
touchdown. Amarok, so you could do it manually, but I just load them up before we start the stream. So I've got company routes, so in this instance I'll do RJBB. You can select plan request and you can choose the ones that are loaded up, but we're going to type it in here, RJBB, RJFM. Pop it into company route and it would go, ah yes, I know that one. And there we go, just hit activate. Execute.
Taxi right to Juliet 4 and then right Sierra 5.
BBX 165. Now the question is going to be what departure we get. It's pointless me putting it in just yet because we're not actually entirely certain if we are doing 24 left Kitan 2. Actually, it should still be the Kitan 2. It's a question of whether or not it's going to be 24 left or right for departure.
Beach 525, runway 24 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, run it for right, Beach 525.
Hey, Amrock, yeah, otherwise you need to type it in.
Confirm, you can taxi Juliet 4 and then right Sierra 5 to the gate, have a good day.
Okay, Juliet 4, Sierra 5, stand of choice, roll for the moment.
1350 off blocks maybe, flight level 340. Let's clear that and we can put in the remarks for Osprey. We always put call sign Osprey, so they can see it on their radar client and they'll go okay. Otherwise we get Bravo Victor X-ray 165 instead of Osprey 165.
Beach 525, the wind is 180 at 4, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff.
I think that's Doc there in the little Peach. Cruise winds for this leg is 307 at 18. About 340, 038 is 50.8, and reserves is actually 2.5. So it's a slightly higher reserve for this sector. Transition altitude we know is 14,000 feet. And we can execute those changes there.
Sierra 5, can I turn right on Sierra 4, airbase 200?
Airbase 200, no worries, we can taxi right Sierra 4 to the gate.
Thank you. Airbase 525 airborne.
Airbase 525, contact Kansai departure, 120.25, have a nice flight.
120.25, Airbase 525, thanks for your service. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So it's actually suggesting that we do an assumed temperature of 38 degrees for our departure for the M1 limit. So that'd be like a big old D rate. So let's do that. We'll do a nice slow D-rated takeoff. It's also 18k D rate climb 2 with flap 5. 6.91 will be our final load trim, which is not far off where we're at the moment. About there. Extra click for good luck.
Kansai Tower, good evening, Air Peach 181, information share on board, stand 98, requesting
and we got
to
ATIS.
Miyazaki.
Using runway 24 right, departure frequency 24 left is closed due to maintenance. So that's that then. We're going to be 24 right, but it's still the same departure, which is the Kitan 2. And our routing today for the transition
repeat the departure
is going to take us via Tomo, no?
Cover that, the Suzanne 2 departure and score 1307, Air Peach 181.
Air Peach 181, read that correct, C4 right for departure, call for pushback, for
that's interesting. Don't think we're going to do any of those actually. Tomo. And then after Tomo, we're going direct to Kilo Romeo Echo. So, no transition. That should give us up to Tomo. There we go. And then Kilo Romeo Echo. Happy days. That'll do us. Route data, winds request. Sanders might have to research that one and have a little look to see what it might be. Grandpa Rex in the Jax ARTC. Hello to you. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Do need to do more flying in the States. I do enjoy it. The controllers tend to be exceptionally good. Right, where was I? That's set. That's set. That's set. Now it's going to give us our V speeds. Amazing Mace, using VAS Airplane Toolbox. It's predominantly for X-Plane, but you sign up to the X-Plane forum and you can download it and you can use it for the PMDG 737 in MSFS. It works pretty well. What tower ATIS are we? Information Sierra is 2973 inches. Mercury, like so. Kansai is the sinking airport. There we go. So, on the departure, we can expect well, it doesn't really give us a initial climb, actually, to be honest. But we're heading that way, so it's going to be towards or out of flight level 160 again, I think. But we'll be guided by the controller. Let's get our clearance for leg 2. Kansai Tower, good evening. Osprey 165, stand 256 with information Sierra, Boeing 737-600. Request IFR clearance to Miyazaki, please.
Osprey 165, Kansai Tower, hello, cleared to Miyazaki Airport via the Suzanne 2 departure, Kilo Romeo Echo transition, flight plan route, maintain 900,000, expect flight level 340, squawk 1314.
Cleared to Miyazaki, Kitan 2 departure, then Kilo Romeo Echo, initial climbs 9,000, expect flight level 340, squawk 1314, Osprey 165.
Start up on 9990, contact Kansai departure 120.25, please.
Kansai approach 120.14.
1314.
Goodbye.
Osprey 165, read that correct, runway 24 right for departure, call for pitch down.
Wilco, Osprey 165. So actually, just looking at this, Kilo Romeo Echo is going to be transitioned via Osaka, so that works. We can just do that. Tomo, and then Kilo Romeo Echo, which is Koshi. And it's all 244 degrees. Kitan 2 via Osaka. It's going to take us to, in a straight line basically, to our waypoint that we want to go to, which is Kilo Romeo Echo. Takeoff speeds are deleted, that's fine because we've reselected the departure, so the aeroplane is making us recalculate just in case there's a runway change, load change, that sort of thing. Grandpa Rex has got 2 events this weekend, very nice. Doc, that's which is where we were assigned. We were given the stands. Right, let's look at Navigraph then, folks. So here we go. At the moment, they've given us a remote stand all the way down here near the fire station. They've probably seen our flying ability and thought otherwise. We're there, stand 256. So we're going to push start facing north onto Zulu, and then we're going to taxi all the way down Zulu onto Yankee, hold up Bravo 1, perhaps even Bravo 3, runway 24 right. Depends what the controller gives us, but we're able to do all of them, even Bravo 5 for departure really as well. We can handle most things. After takeoff, we're going to fly runway heading of 239 degrees, climbing up initially to 9,000 feet like they've given us, followed by a very quick right-hand turn to BB 440. Before sweeping left turn in the middle of the bay effectively. That's the reason why that's like this. Up to Tomo, and then a right turn 244 degrees to head westbound to Odori, and then Osaka and Koshi 113.7. .7. We'll pop that into nav 1, GOR1. And we want to intercept an inbound track of 244 degrees, so let's set that on the course as well. We can put the flight directors off for the time being. Initially 9,000, so let's make sure that is set. It is. And our runway heading 239 degrees. Like so. Flight directors can go back on, and up here we will do flight level 340. And we're just going to generally check the route. Now, we're heading up to Ryugu, inbound to Miyazaki. We're expecting ILS Zulu runway 27 in Miyazaki. Let's put it in now. It's only a short hop. ILS Zulu 27 via Ryugu, like this. We'll execute that. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Perfect. So from Ryugu, Chaga, Oyodu, Simwa, and then runway 27. Done our descent winds forecast, I think. Yeah, and then we want 14,000 feet again for our transition altitude. And then we don't actually have a weather profile for Miyazaki METAR, so I'm gonna have to Google that as we're outbound and up in the air. We'll have to sort it out. 129 is 139 plus the 10. So that's all like MCP set. What we're going to want to do is now clear. We can use the second FMC if we want to, and clear everything. So park brakes on. Keep it simple. We'll just remove the chocks, and then what it will do is it will shut the door, get rid of the stairs and everything else. And in that time, we can plan our pushback. Doc, it's giving you too much to do, isn't it? They're busy sectors as well. They're busy sectors. There we are. 256. Lovely. Toolbar pushback. Can't recommend it enough. Ah, the tug's there. Lovely. So we've spawned the tug. Toolbar pushback will freeze for a little bit because it's spawned the tug and it's trying to basically tell the sim I would like a tug, but the sim doesn't really understand the difference between the two. So if this happens as a primary example to you guys, you click it, it spawns the tug, it doesn't happen anything beyond this, you just cancel the plan pushback, stop the pushback. Give it a minute, you've still got your parking brake on, and then it resets everything, so you can just replan everything again. It doesn't take too much time. But always prepare this well in advance of actually asking for your pushback clearance. Once you get your push and start clearance, you want to be connecting that tug and getting ready to move. Altimeter set, transponder set, fueling, loading, boarding is completed and the chocks have been removed. Ground equipment is clear. Cruise altitude, pressure panel, just double check that. That is set and it's currently set to 50 for Osaka Kansai. Should we turn back? MCP is set. Flight directors 1 and 2 are on radios with frequencies are set, and we're going to just check VPilot, the list of frequencies. 122.5 is Kansai approach or Kansai departure for the departures, as will be handed off to them next. And we can pop the anti-collision light on. Yeah, so a lot of the US airports, as Grandpa Rex is saying there, the apron is sort of down to the pilots to decide.
Osprey 9015 here.
But a lot of them, we've got to do that in the UK. We've got to do it in the UK. The controllers here control it too.
To Miyazaki, please.
There's a wonderful Qatar A350 there taxiing away.
Osprey 9015 clear to Miyazaki Airport via Susan to departure, Kilo Romeo Echo transition, flight plan route, maintain 9000, expect flight level 360.
So we can't transmit anything yet, we can't request because we're asking, well, we're waiting for this entire string of transmissions for this guy's getting his clearance to complete.
Echo transition, runway 24 right, and
but what we can do is begin the tug, because it takes a little while to get it in position, doesn't it?
Osprey 9015.
Osprey 9015, confirm it's the Susan to departure, Sierra Uniform Sierra Alpha November 2.
We'll check clear both sides once we get our clearance, and then we'll begin our pushback and engine start.
Is it the Susan 2 departure for Osprey 9015?
H-band.
Roger, Susan 2 departure via Kilo Romeo Echo for Osprey 9015.
Osprey 9015, is that correct? And actually we're going to do a runway change. We plan runway 06 left for departure, Papa Bushman.
Apologies, can you repeat for Osprey 9015?
Yeah, we'll change our runway to 06 left, plan runway 06 left for departure, call for pushback.
Roger, 06 left, and we'll call for pushback for Osprey 9015.
Osprey Kansai 8 uniform is current, runway 06 left, Kansai QNH 2973.
Osprey 165, fully ready, request push and start.
Osprey 165, I have amended to your seat, I believe. Otherwise, ready to copy.
Yep, ready to copy, Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, cleared to Miyazaki via Susan 2 departure, Kilo Romeo Echo transition off runway 06 left, and rest of clearance unchanged.
Susan 2 departure, by Kilo Romeo Echo, runway 24 right, Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, it's 06 left, we're going to do a runway change. The ADIS has been changed to uniform, runway 06 left for departure.
Apologies, yeah, changed to runway 06 left, Susan 2 departure, Osprey 165.
Osprey 165, reback correct, you're ready to floor pushback.
A-firm.
Right, Osprey 165, pushback approved, runway 06 left.
Pushback approved, runway 06 left, Osprey 165. Well, that's thrown us. Wee spanner in the works. Let's start the pushback.
Just confirming change of runway, we'll change it to 06.
The transition again, sorry.
To the Helen 2 departure, Soja transition.
So we're going to have a little look at this. So we're kind of multitasking here. Pilot would be flying around, trying to get the engine started, but Susan 2 departure now for us is going to be airborne, 239 degrees, no, not 239 degrees, we're going to be turning around back on ourselves like a big loop basically, this on Navigraph. So 06 left, at almost the way we came, then a very sharp left turn to BB 430 to Tomo, and then outbound Odori, Osaka Koshi. Still, clearance, the rest of it was as prescribed, so nothing else has changed.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake. Parking brake set. Parking brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Kansai Tower, good afternoon. Osprey 2472, type 737.
Just going to check this. Osaka Kilo Romeo Echo, Toritomo.
And 272, please.
Cool.
See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Now we need to recycle the V-speeds. 20 on the N2, let's run the fuel control lever. Giving us a lot to do now.
Kilo Romeo Echo transition, flight plan route. Maintain 900,000, expect flight level 360, squawk 1322.
Cleared for the Susan 2 departure via the Kilo Echo Romeo transition for 06 left. Could you repeat the squawk and altitude, please?
Osprey 2472, maintain 900,000 feet and squawk 1322, 1322.
There's the click.
Squawk at 9,000.
So looking up, that's reset itself. We're going to pop the gens on.
9,000 feet, Osprey 2472.
Osprey 2472, reback correct, runway 06 left for departure, call for pushback.
While we're here, pop the probes on, down the bottom, mission mode continuous.
Osprey 2472.
Packs, auto, isolation valve, auto. Let's do the engine bleeds, APU bleed off. APU off. Flaps as required, we want flaps 5. Elevator trim, we've already set that. We're just going to double check it, 6.32. Actually that's changed, so let's bring that down. It's about there now. 6.32, happy days. You know what, I do need to check actually. Yeah, 1000, 1000. This needs to be 1000 as well. 06 left is the new runway. Flight controls full free, so we're going to hit system page. We're going to look full right, full left, all the way back, all the way forward, always going through neutral at each point. Engine instruments checked, they're stable, very equal as well. LNAV arms, VNAV arms, auto throttle on, master warning, master caution recall. Taxi lights on and auto brake RTO. Osprey 165 request taxi.
Osprey 165 runway 06 left taxi via Juliet 4 Yankee to holding point to Bravo 14.
Taxi runway 06 left, Juliet 4 Yankee Bravo 14 Osprey 165. There's one throttle there. Doing it the swanky way. Yeah, the taxi light is on. Okay, sector 2. It's just going to be a left followed by another immediate left. So because that's nice and easy, I can prep my departure charts, my takeoff plates, if you like. Nice big solar farm there. And I'm probably going to put the wing view or camera view about here. Maybe about there, for example, because we're going to be taking off and turning left very quickly. So I'm going to try and get some nice screenshots if I can of our departure. We'll try and just leave the nose wheel set as it is, just to take us all the way around 180 degrees to go onto Yankee down here. We taxi down to the whole point for 06 left.
Kansai Tower, Osprey 9015 here, request push and start.
Osprey 9015, push back up here, runway 06 left.
Roger, push back approved for 06 left for Osprey 9015.
I'm actually going to leave the heading set at 239 because after takeoff we're going to be turning left 180 degrees to a heading of 239 degrees, basically to head towards BB 430. So I'll leave it there on purpose. MPS Gaming, good evening. Andrew, have a good day. Awesome airport. Technobrain, Osaka Kansai. Need to use this more. Absolutely. Can't believe I waited so long to purchase it. Great seeing so many Ospreys all parked around the airport. Absolutely wonderful. That is clear. Let's pop that on TARA now. Why not? Saves us the job. Traffic mode's already on. We'll just recycle it, and terrain mode is on as well. Some weird bumps though. There's two now on this taxiway that have been quite uneven. While we're doing this, I'm also running the figures again. So I'm going through VAS Airplane Toolbox. I've switched it across to 06 left. Just to check to make sure that our configuration that we've selected, that cell temp of 38 for example, is all fine. Yeah, see, it's actually cleared this. It's a good job we checked it. So we want 38. Take off 2. Climb 2. Take off. Run the V speeds once more. 129, 139. So it still matches.
Osprey 9015, request taxi.
Osprey 9015,
Final check of the overhead.
Taxi Juliet or left Yankee to holding point.
We're going to go fuel flow reset rates. The hold checks.
Roger, taxi 206.
Just check the V speeds so we clarified and make sure they're all okay, and we've got the VOR tuned as well. Runway confirm. Runway 06 left.
Correct, thank you. Osprey 165, the wind is calm. Runway 06 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 06 left, clear takeoff. Osprey 165. Strobe steady. Landing lights on, runway turn-off lights on, taxi lights off. We've done the rest of the checks. Have a quick look on the approach, that's clear.
Airport 40 Romeo, push back up here to runway 06 left, face west.
Textures are really nice here as well. We've got a really nice long runway, so what we'll do is we'll line up and we're going to set 30-40% M1 already. We don't need to stop on the runway just to spool up the engines. In fact, a lot of the times airlines won't necessarily do that. T speeds are stable. Toga.
Kansai Tower, Osprey 2472 is ready for push and start.
Osprey 2472, push back up here to runway 06 left.
Those textures on the runway there are a little bit washed out, a bit blurry look. Approaching 80 knots, so we just relieve the nose wheel pressure. Bumpy runway. And look at the difference this D-rate takes, or makes rather. Airborne.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Hold in the pitch. You're just going to quickly try and get out of here before you get too many issues. Look at that. That looks fantastic. Hell yeah. At and above 500 feet. We're going to go CMDA engaged.
Kansai departure 120.40 if I had a good one.
Contact Kansai departure 12025 for Osprey 165. Thank you very much. Arigato gozaimasu. Always nice to be courteous. Try and at least make the effort to speak the language. So gears up and no lights. We're watching the speeds there. That's the outer marker. Runway turn off lights off. Let's pop those off and the auto brake off. 12025. Kansai departure Osprey 165, climbing through 2,000 feet, Susan 2 departure.
Osprey 165 Kansai departure, radar contact, climb advent flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level 200, Osprey 165. Bingo. Through flaps, so let's go through the retraction. And away we go, folks. Sector 2 of 2 today. Accelerating away out of Osaka Kansai. And you can see those slap and flap animations. Yes, that's what we want. We want the bridge. Gimme gimme screenshots. Look at that. How epic. Look how tight that left turn was. Climbing left turn. The 737 threw itself into it wonderfully. Flaps up, no lights. And it's CMDA, we just make sure that is engaged. Cabin pressure is increasing normally, there we are, cabin climb slowly creeping up, and we have got our pressure panel set correctly to make sure the packs are on auto. Lovely job. And we're just climbing away now to at or above 10,000. Gav, thank you buddy, really appreciate that. Super chat earlier, I think I missed it through all the carnage there. Pete, welcome back.
Osprey 165, declared direct Kilo Romeo Echo.
Direct Kilo Romeo Echo, Osprey 165. Let's do that. Nice and proactive, nice and quick. Yes, Jonathan Air Amarok, yeah, we're using the default 737 profiles on Fast Airplane Toolbox, so 737-700 and the 737-600 ones there as well. I mean, even climb profile 2 is just rapid. Almost 100 likes, folks. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. 707 Liner, have a good night. MPS Gaming's loving the livery. Says it looks awesome. I agree. Pretty cool. The Golden Boy NC, welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. And MV Graffiti as well earlier on. Who else have we got? Robbie Munro as well, I can see. Appreciate it. Welcome on board. If you've not hit the subscribe button yet, please do consider doing so. And don't forget to click the little like button. Pop that thumbs up so we can rise above 100 likes before we get to Miyazaki. We've got Fly2 sceneries, Fly2 highs, Miyazaki scenery to enjoy. Same developer who created that original departure of Kagoshima there as well. How are we doing? There we are, through 10. So we can go landing lights off. Gav, thanks buddy. We can think about landing as well. We've got to pull in the ACAS for Miyazaki. I don't actually know what the METAR is. And VAS Airplane Toolbox can't get one either. So let's head to Google.
Kansai approach, good
wow.
evening, Osprey 9015.
So winds 270 at 7. When was that taken? 12 at 12, so a couple of hours ago.
9015 Kansai departure, radar contact, climb and maintain level 200.
Level 200, Osprey 9015.
270 at 7, 29 degrees Celsius, and the QNH 1007. Roughly. That's an approximation of the weather. And it reckons oil landing elevation still 50 feet. Happy days, we don't have to change that. It reckons we're going to need auto brake 3 potentially, 2 at the very minimum for flap 30 approaches on VAS Airplane Toolbox. Through transition, let's go to standard.
165 contact on Tokyo control 120.5.
Report to Tokyo Control 120.5 Osprey 165. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Goodbye.
120.5. Bring that right up here so we can see what we're doing. Hiroshima Tower's online, folks. Wonderful scenery on flightsim.to for that. Oh, dock, awesome. Same route as well. Tokyo Control, good evening, Osprey 165. Climbing flight level 180 for flight level 200 inbound. Kilo Romeo Echo.
Osprey 165, Tokyo Control, climb flight level 340.
Flight level 340, Osprey 165. Ta-da! There we are. Farah's nice.
Send on maintain 8000, Sapphire 74.
And I calling Airpeak 525, disarmament 8000.
Disarmament 8000, Airpeak 55.
Sapphire 74, maintain flight level 150.
So we've got to be really listening out to this controller. We call up, we want to be able to understand what he's saying and then respond back and do it what he's asking. I do love flying around Japan. The land of the rising sun. Or Nihon. Which means, I think, rising sun in English. Rising sun? Something like that. I have to Google it to check. You can download this livery, Osprey Airways, for our little virtual airline on flightsim.to. Look at that, absolutely stunning that is. Let's see if I can get a decent screenshot of that. Oh yes. Get the PFD in the side of it as well.
pitch 525, increase rate of descent until reaching 6,000.
The increased rate of descent until 6,000 pitch 525.
大日本99990 descent to reach level 240 by マンマス。
Descent to reach level 240 by マンマス。大日本99990。
Tomorrow's live stream.
165, climb to reach level 340 by Kilo Romeo Echo.
Climb to reach flight level 340 by Kilo Romeo Echo, Osprey 165. That's fine, because I saw that then. There's the banana. So we will reach Kilo Romeo Echo by that point. Although it does flux somewhat. So in here, we can dynamically change the climb profile. It's on auto at the moment. Now it's on auto for M1 limit.
Osprey 165, declare direct Siroc, Sierra India Romeo Oscar Kilo.
Direct Siroc, Osprey 165. Another little shortcut.
Tokyo Control, good day. Osprey 9015, climbing to flight level 200.
Osprey 9015, Tokyo Control, ground 10, flight level 3.
So we would have made it by that point anyway.
Roger 360, Osprey 9015.
Amarok says, I believe indeed that Nihon means rising sun. Well, in French I know that we call Japan the country of the rising sun. Yeah, and here we call it the land of the rising sun in English. Doc, yeah, love it. It adds an extra layer of immersion, speaking to people all around the world on VATSIM, trying to fly accurately with the procedures, but also trying to communicate with one another in English through accents. Night Shadow, good morning.
Regional navigation direct to Morse, Leo level 16, report to final air 55.
A little bit of wing flex. Look at that down below. Ah, Doc, yeah, that's not ideal.
Staff 74, regional navigation direct to Bacon, Regional 7000, Club Lady Whiskey, Romeo 2 approach.
Robert, welcome. Great to hear. Great to have you here with us today. Amazing views indeed. I'm glad you've enjoyed the explanations so far as well. Let's look at Miyazaki. So there we are, Yosak. Not really done much beyond flying the SID anyway. Look, there's not much difference. We're still on that line. So even though he's given us shortcuts, it's not really materialised to very much. That's what we're going direct to at the moment, Saki. So it's a little bit of a shortcut. But there's Ryogu and there's Miyazaki, 1124 for the VOR there on the charts, look. And if we go to their charts, we want the Ryogu RNAV arrival. Nice and easy. Ryogu, Chaga at or above 4,000. Oyodu at or above 2,000 feet. And then it's a dash line straight to the airfield. Look, and actually that's bringing us in straight in for runway 27. So we go to the approach part. ILS Zulu, it is from Oyodu, a straight in approach over the coast. So this could be absolutely stunning. Now the question is, do you guys want me to wind the time forward slightly to the evening? Or should we leave it in daylight hours? There's some circling guidance lights as well there, so we get to see if the developers put those in at night time. It's a very small airfield, this. Couple of parking stands at the bottom of the airfield there, like so. Looking forward to Miyazaki actually. It looked very nice from above. We can unpin the Osaka Kansai charts. That's what we need to focus on next. You guys want to see evening? Oh, look at that. Toolbar pushback is stuck on. So over time, that will cause you a loss of frames. It will gobble up performance, your memory leak and all that sort of thing. So how to get around that? Just click it and it'll deactivate. And if you just want to be doubly sure, go into the cog and then click pushback and it kills that little app. Let's wind the time forward a bit more then. Landed the setting sun now. How about that?
Only pond 2177.
Bit higher.
Request clearance to Osaka
That'll do.
International Airport, currently at Narita spot 58 Alpha.
Welcome to sunset in Japan, folks.
Landing by only pond 2177.
Let's clear the VORs for now. So Ryudu, Chaga, Oyodu, and then Simwa, which is then the approach to runway 27 like so. And threshold elevation 69 feet for us.
On
the charts, try and stay one step ahead of the aeroplane and the controller. If we expect 27, we know that we need 1124, which is the Miyazaki VOR. I'm going to tune it to both, because at some point I might want to flick it and use it for some reason. I'm not sure which yet. 108.9. And these are the standby frequencies for the ILS. 108.9. Awesome. So we can flick VOR2 in. We put the course of 272 in place. Make sure on the 737 we set a course for nav2 to match for an ILS approach, and the minimums on the charts were 221 feet, so actually not too dissimilar to the 223 that we had before, just 2 feet less.
日本97990 clear via route of Golf Arrival, Echo direct to Copen, descendant 1010,000.
Got to really focus on this controller. I don't want to make any mistakes. 32 knot crosswind for us.
Ready to copy, only pond 2177.
Nippon 2177, clear to Osaka Airport via Peacock to departure.
More evening.
Peacock, Yankee 50, Elnis, Yankee 564, Ibeno, Yankee 56, Tome, Yankee 54.
Or, you know what? I'll just go back a tiny bit. We're going to see that sun transition through like that. It's going to look spectacular. We need to do some flights into Jacksonville.
Clear to Osaka International Airport via Peacock to departure. Peacock, Yankee 50, Elnis, Yankee 564, Ibeno, Yankee 56, Tochne, Yankee 54, Kochwa. Maintain flight level 240 and expect flight level 260 runway 16 right in use. Squawk 101.
So the last QNH was actually 1007, which equates to 2972 inches of mercury, which is what they use here. Let's hope so, Robert. Poseidon's just done Phoenix, Gatwick to Innsbruck, very nice, and had no problems with toolbar pushback. It's very hit and miss. I tend to get a lot of problems with toolbar pushback, sadly, with the Phoenix, but not on anything else. 53.9 is our estimated, our planned landing weight, so we can set that and we can put in our estimated reference speeds. That now completes our PFD. We're well ahead of top of descent. Or actually, no, we're not. Top of descent is imminent. Okay. 13 miles, so let's request descent. Osprey 165, request descent.
Osprey 165, descent flight level 280.
Descent maintain flight level 280, Osprey 165. MCP is reset. Make sure I grab my charts. and go to the checklist quickly. Descent. So destination weather's obtained. We've checked our arrival data and we've set our landing altitude. We've just set our radios and the lock ILS frequency, all course, all that sort of stuff is already set as well. We're going to do a warning recall. Altimeter set, minimums are set, missed approach is briefed, auto brake 2 minimum. We'll set 3. So set as required. And just as we start to descend, going to activate descent now. We'll have a look at the missed approach. So if we do declare a missed approach, we're going to fly past the threshold and it's going to be a climbing right turn all the way around 270 degrees or so to then head outbound on a outbound track of 138 degrees away from the Miyazaki VOR. It says here, climb to 500 on heading 272, turn right via Miyazaki. Radio 138. To 4,500 feet, turn right, direct MZE VOR and hold.
Expect LD whiskey runway 22, clear Osh. Question Oxford 1 Bravo right for you can take the Oxford December star 1 3090.
Oh, look at that. Sunset. And the Osprey retro livery. Wonderful.
Tokyo Control, Osprey 2472 is with you, passing flight level 176 for climb flight level 200.
Osprey 2472 Tokyo Control, climbing on the main flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 for Osprey 2472.
Can you please repeat the frequency for repeat the clearance for Japan 92, please?
Japan 92 descent flight level 2, descent approach flight level 270.
We'll descend to runway to flight level 270, Japan 92.
Asana 132 descent, recorrect Morse, descent maintain 8000.
Should be pretty much a straight in approach for us.
Tokyo Control, Korean 9089 and maintain flight level 310, stroking 5315.
106 miles to Miyazaki. It's now picking up the VOR down below. Alec, member for 13 months, Gold Frequent Flyer, thank you very much for all of your ongoing support. Shaquille, not thought of it like that actually, but now I think about it, it's not too far off, is it? Grandpa Rex saying, asking for thoughts on the new VATSIM code of conduct changes. Now, I think it's quite good. I think it's been made with the right intentions as well. Was that descend flight level 160, Osprey 165? Well, he's not said no. Must have been right. We'll commit to that. We'll see what happens. Let's just check the nav data here. Ryogu 8000, Chaga at or above 4, Oyodo at or above 2, Sinwa at 2. So hopefully we can do this into a really nice continuous descent. That'd be lovely. Let's do runway 27, fixed ring. And we want, what's it called? 10.
Tokyo Control, Air Canada 4, heavy radio check.
And 6. So a couple of fixed rings.
We'll take IFR clearance to Vancouver.
Yeah, it puts the onus on the pilots, and I think that's a good thing, because there was a little phase, wasn't there, recently, of people just connecting and using it as a multiplayer server. People not... Descend to reach Zurich at 12,000 feet, QNH 2975, Osprey 165. Hopefully I got that right. 12,000 by Zurich. Actually, that looks like that's going to work as well. Very nice. So we'll just monitor that. We need to maintain about 2,200 foot per minute at the least in that instance. Not far off what VNAV wants as well. So actually, this should be quite nice. But yeah, as you're saying there, Grandpa Rex, it's still a learning environment, and I think the biggest issue I have with VATSIM is they rely a lot on content creators like myself to create tutorials to help people out. There's very little, bearing in mind it's a learning environment, there's very little that actually you get from VATSIM themselves. There's no interest in them actually doing their own model matching to make it look more immersive. There's no interest really, unless you want to become a controller, in teaching you how to be a good pilot on the network. They kind of just rely on folk like myself to just do a tutorial for it and go, well, watch videos. Big Jacko's Gaming, g'day! Look at that. Oh.
Clear to Osaka via Access 3 departure, then flag plan, maintain flag level 200 stroke 1031, all Nippon 41.
There's a screenshot. Not long now, folks, we'll be in Miyazaki. We're going to have to be thinking about approach quite quickly. 77 miles to go.
Control air pitch 181.
Even more stunning, look at that.
1804200.
Aviator, good morning in Kansas. Great to have you with us.
320, air pitch 101.
Absolutely, Big Jacko, and it's such a great price as well, isn't it? Right, so we might have to intervene here, look. If this VNAV goes a little bit looser from Zurich, we might have to intervene, but I don't want it to go beyond it. I trust the VNAV is going to do its thing, so you should be okay. 1089 is the ILS, so let's pop that into nav 2 just so it's prepped and ready.
Japan 902, descent to reach level 220 by span.
Yeah, Grandpa, I think I'd agree with you there. It's a shame. A lot of us have tried really hard to improve it for people and help people learn on VATSIM, but you get very little recognition from VATSIM themselves. It's all a bit frustrating.
0 cool and finish 29075 for Osprey 9015. Osprey 9015, 12,000 by Zurich.
Almost 100 likes, folks. Just need a few more. Pip us over the post if you are enjoying it. Do click the like button.
For Osprey 9015.
Shaquille says, I wish they'd implement a rule for ATC, so if they connect, they should be on for a minimum time. In the US, they'll get going, just to see the airspace is busy, and then log off. Atlanta is known for it. Interesting. We've definitely had a few in the UK as well. Roger, expect ILS Zulu, runway 27 approach, Osprey 165. Yeah, it was 2975. Which actually is a mandatory readback item, which I didn't read back, so apologies. But I'm just running with it now. He knows I know. I hope. I hope. We'll find out in a minute. Speed's running away a little bit, let's help the plane. Hopefully there's some speed brakes out. And we're just going to check the depressurization panel as well. We can see the cabin is depressurizing nicely. We're almost at transition 14,002. So to go through 14, we're going to hit the standard button, And we're going to switch our standard to our local pressure. First time flying into Miyazaki, and looks like we're going to be flying into the sunset, literally towards the sun, which I don't think I've done before. So this is very exciting. Miyazaki's over here somewhere. Through that little bit of cloud we can't really see. Can't wait for this. Fly2 high is Miyazaki, this is. Again, the links are all in the description. Okay, let's go standard pressure now. It's the VNAV knows it wants to hit Siroc at 12, that's fine. 5E60, so it's either in the ATIS or there's information on the charts to help. If you're in doubt, look at the SID for an airport and it will have a transition altitude. If your approach plate says transition level by ATC, then just add 1,000 foot to the transition altitude so you have a buffer just to be safe if you're really not sure.
Only phone 2177 requesting back. Only phone 2177, taxi via Tango 3, Charlie.
12 coming up.
Taxi via Tango 3, Charlie, only phone 2177.
Yeah, they should be kicked instantly, Amarok. We want additional descent now. You wanted 12 by Siroc, we've done it. Fuel's looking good as well.
Center Canada 4 Heavy, we're ready to push and start. Canada 4,
This guy's covering all of Japan. Now we're losing our
Tango 50, only phone 2177.
Ah, can't get in.
We started pretty heavy north, 16 right there, Canada 4 Heavy.
Osprey 165, request further descent.
Osprey 165, redirect to Oyodo, descend maintain 3000.
Direct Oyodo and descend and maintain 3,000 feet, Osprey 165. Let's get the direct in first.
Same for us.
Get down to 3.
Ready for descent.
Now we're going to need drag, I think, to help the plane out. Altitude intervention.
Whiskey 23 approach, heading 110.
Pretty sure I clicked it. Oh, I did.
ILS 22 approach, minus 2.
Japan 902, sky heading 090, left up to final approach course.
090, minus 2.
20 miles to Oyodo. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. Speed's going a bit wild there, so let's just set 228. It's obviously a speed constraint somewhere in the nav data.
All Nippon 41, push back approved, runway 16 right, heading south. Push back approved, runway 16 right, heading south, all Nippon 41. Tokyo South, Airport 73, request descent please. Osprey 2472, descend to reach 12,000, descend maintain, flight level 180. Send to flight level 180.
That's ready.
Nippon 900, approaching the Jamie.
Go to 2. Got a vertical speed mode now. 2000 is going to be good, I think. 2,000 foot per minute. Set 235. 240, that'll do. Through 10,000. So landing lights go on, runway turn off lights on. Logo lights are on. That's all set. We're going to do a. Let's do a seatbelt sign on properly. Robbie, yeah, so as we did a few minutes ago, if you were watching, we got close to top of descent, but we didn't get given a descent instruction, so I asked Osprey 165 request descent, and then he gave us instructions, where we levelled off just then at 12. Same thing. Oh yeah, Amarok, that would have annoyed the heck out of me. That would have been a dot wallop. It's 1,800 foot per minute, see what happens.
Descendant 150, and just to confirm, we are.
That should be good, because then we can get to 2,000 by the approach, I think, by that point. We maintain this. You've got to slow down as well, don't forget. So let's set 200 actually. Get rid of the music. It's a good question, Robbie. Thanks for asking. If you're thinking it, chances are a lot of others are thinking the same thing. So always good to ask.
Expect ILS 27 Zulu approach and change to 975 for Osprey 9015.
Also frequency good. Let's flick that across now. So we've got active for navs 1 and 2. It is 1089, isn't it? 1089, 1089, both active. Just check it.
Roger, direct to Oyodo and descend to 3,000 feet for Osprey 9015.
Osprey 247 to descend to reach 12,000 by Sherlock.
It's given us a bit of a task here.
Descend for flight level of 12,000 feet by Sherlock for Osprey 247.
Speed's good for flaps 1, so let's extend flap 1. We're going to start slowly adding a bit of drag on here. Extension for flap 2's 250, let's go flap 2. Speed's starting to trickle down now, because we've got speed brake in flight detent, look. But we are descending quite steeply, the aeroplane's kind of fighting against it. And now we're decelerating nicely, so this is good. Let's set 180 as a target. And our V speed's 127, 132. Adding the 5. No idea what the weather's doing, but it's showing calm at the moment, look. The nav display, no wind.
That
was below. 1,000 above, rather.
Continue taxi via Charlie Whiskey 66, only form to 177.
Flat 5.
Level 360, that is 105.
Center Canada 4, have you ready for taxi?
Canada 4, runway 16 right, taxi via Tango 4, Charlie.
He cleared us for the ILS, didn't he?
4 Charlie for Canada 4 heavy.
Staff 74. ホテル1で曲がってタクシーとスポットでよろしいですか。スタッフラセブンファーファンターンレフトホテル1タクシーとスポット1。レフトホテル1タクシーとスポットスタッフラセブンフォー。
Osprey 165, confirm we're cleared for the ILS.
Osprey 165, descend 2000, clear flight 0 runway 27 approach.
Descend 2000, cleared ILS Zulu, runway 24 approach, Osprey 165.
Osprey 9015, disregard.
Let's do 160 till 4. Lap 10. Approach mode's active. 272 for the turn. Here we go.
Japan 900, turn heading 040. 040 with heading 902. Japan 900, expect vector to nylon. ILS runway 22, nylon to
Let's arm the spoilers. Do a little recall, master warning, flight continuous. Where are we? 10 miles. A few miles out, yeah. There's the airport.
2177, continue taxi via Whiskey 6 Alpha to holding point.
Whiskey 6 Alpha 2 holding point, only pond 2177.
Japan 902, report accept direct nylon. Direct nylon for Japan 902. Japan 902, regional navigation direct nylon.
Speed just released, it's on flight to 10.
Cleared for ILS runway 22 approach. Direct nylon.
It's on, it's armed, not sorry. It's been released from flight to 10, it's armed. MPS Gaming, thanks, yo. Hello, buddy. Grandpa Rex, good luck.
Singapore 811, apartment Victor 1.
Singapore 8 unable your request due to traffic.
About 8 miles, gear down, flap 15.
Extend Victor 1, request Alpha clearance for local traffic.
Singapore 8 unable due to traffic.
142 on the checks. Looking at the glide slope to become alive. We're levelling off at 2,000 now, so we're going to level off there. We know on the charts that our missed approach is to 4,500 feet, so levelling off. Lap 25. 4,500 set. We'll set flap 30. Get that nose sorted. CMDB. Down we go. Gears down, 3 green, and flap set 30 in green. Little bit of a wiggle there. Wind's kicked in now, 6 knot tailwind, headwind, sorry. So flaps set landing, ignition mode continuous, landing gears confirmed down. CMD, oh there we go, interesting, CMD A and B are not engaged, so we're going to hand fly this. My controls, something's not quite worked out there. Go around altitude is set, flap set landing, autopilot, autothrottle is now off.
Roger, we clear for the ILS Zulu 27 approach for Osprey 9015.
Osprey 165 runway 27, clear to land, wind 3 to 7.
Little land, Osprey 165. What have I missed? What have I missed? What have I missed? Not really sure. It's there. It recognises it, but I think I might have just missed a step or done something. Both frequencies are set. 108, 108.9. Already all done. Sort the trim out here.
Stick Alpha 7, spot 58 Alpha, Nippon 99990.
Nippon 99990.
Glide slope.
Interesting, because this is suggesting we're on the glide slope quite nicely.
Glide slope.
Let's inhibit that. All going on. The only thing I've done now is actually added on Sky Dolly, turned it on. Weird. Oh well, we're all good. We just hand fly it. Look at that. That is spectacularly stunning though, as well.
Whiskey 6 Alpha.
Whiskey 6 Alpha, Burkham 4 Heavy.
177, wind 1906, runway 16 right, at Alpha, take off.
Can't see any pappies.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 16 right, only pond.
Yeah, if in doubt, folks, you're flying an aeroplane that doesn't really do what you expect, or something goes a little bit wrong, just turn the autopilot off, hand fly it in.
Page 181, request further descent.
Page 181, descent to reach 12000 by Shirok, QNH 29,
No pappies, interesting. Something I didn't expect.
down to 12000, level by Hillock. Just repeat the QNH, pitch 101.
Pitch 181,
Whoa.
QNH 29875.
Little bit of a weird float there. We've got it.
Pitch 101.
And reverse screen. A little heavier there. A bit weird not having the pappies, because you kind of then don't have much guidance at night on approach. Through 60.
Let's
clear this. And we can vacate left. Quarter brake off. Track the speed brake. Bring the flaps up. Vacate left and right. We're going to go ignition mode continuous.
Osprey 2472, Osprey 2472. Expect ILS0, runway 27 approach. Wind 3007, QNH 29875.
Probe, strove steady. Bingo.
Expect ILS0, runway
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Miyazaki.
29.75 for Osprey 2472.
Osprey 2472, declare left, all your descent 3000.
I want to go too far.
Descend by 3000 by Ryugu for Osprey 2472.
Nippon 99990. Hotel taxi against Sierra to Gateway, Tango to spot 58 Alpha.
Sierra to Gateway Tango, spot 58 Alpha, on Nippon 99990. ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
A little bit of hard landing, yeah, but I didn't want to float. Floating is bad. Osprey 165, runway vacated.
Osprey 165, taxi to port.
Boko, arigato gozaimasu. Osprey 165. Go in here. Get in, squeeze in next to the Qatar. Let's find out. Follow the greens. Ah, loads of room.
Control, good evening. All Nippon 224 with you 6,000 feet.
Nippon 224, Tokyo Control, current level 27.
Look at those emissives. Looks fantastic.
Level 370 on Nippon 224.
So this is a new scenery as well. Not convinced the airport has pappies. Looking at the charts, I'm not sure. There's the line. So, got to try and guess where to put the nose wheel. Out there. Okie dokie. That's all good. I'm actually going to leave the engines running. For a bit. Here we are. Fly2 High's Miyazaki Airport.
Pitch 181, expect ILS0, runway 27 approach, wind 3007, QNH 29875.
So again, it's a basic interior, but you don't need to have some complex detailed interior. Nice emissives at the top here, a little bar up to the very top with a, is it King Air model or something at the very beginning, at the very top deck there. You can just see in the purple light, looking pretty cool.
Osprey 2473, 2000, cleared for ILS0, runway 27 approach.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet until cleared for the ILS Zulu runway approach.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Osprey 2472.
Thing is, we can't really see much of the airport beyond the emissives at night, so let's bring the time in a little bit more. Actually, before we do that. Hey, it looks pretty good. Flight Sim Mike, welcome on board. Thanks for joining us as a channel member, really appreciate it.
Aircraft 4, wind 1906, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff.
That's what I wanted to check actually, in the weather at night time. So let's go to quicker drone camera mode. There's supposed to be circling approach lights up here. Look at that sunset. Yeah, so it's supposed to be circling approach assistant lights, according to the charts, but there aren't any here. And there are no Pappies. So I feel like that's a bit of an omission from the developers here, which is a real shame. Pappies are so important for visual approaches. And the circling lights, which should be here, should be flashing away, should see it now, aren't there. So let's go darker into the night, see if it's a textures thing. Nope, it's not, so they just don't exist. Anyway, let's wind the time back. We can see what's going on with this entire airfield, shall we? Very nice apron textures and concrete and things. Displaced threshold.
Thank you.
And a static radar. Sure, that should be rotating. VOR just on the left. Yeah, I mean, it's something. If Fly2 High are watching, still, they were at the beginning. I'd love to get some sort of response about it. The beacon lights for night approaches are an absolute must at this airport, and also our original departure airport, the start of today, Kagoshima. And I'm going to assume, I'm going to have to assume that because they're not here, they're not at Kagoshima either, which is something that shouldn't be missing, in effect. Performance again though, very good. Textures there are very, very poor. Look at that. Very low resolution. But the buildings and things look very nice. And it is generally a very nice part of the world. Look at that, just caught the touchdown. Very smooth. Bang on the touchdown zone. We like accuracy over smoothness.
Heading 190 down to 3000, air pitch 101.
Osprey 2472, Boeing 737 touchdown, runway 27, clear to down. Clear to land for Osprey 2472.
Interesting. It doesn't really look like there's much to explore with this. That's the terminal building there, folks. We've seen the inside and the outside. The bar in the daytime looks fantastic without the lights as well. There's some floating signs, flags over there too. The Pappies, for me, should not be missing. Let's zoom over here, see if we can spot any Pappies and stuff.
Tokyo Control, Osprey 9015, vacate at 27.
Osprey 9015, taxi to gate.
Roger, taxi to...
So sometimes you can see them on the ground. There's every chance that is them there on the actual satellite texture. So the bit of an overlay that you get does give you an indication of where the Pappies are supposed to be. And indeed, actually, it's in line with the touchdown zone. So I would suggest there's just a dual Pappy system. So there's here on the satellite image, there's two lights spaced with another two lights there potentially. They should not be missing. It's Payware airport scenery. This. Such a beautiful part of the world, though. Look, I mean, look at that for an overview of the airfield. So nice. Breakwater here as well. I mean, this is something that they could put into the scenery. Although actually they have, to be fair. Look, it's coming into view there. Bit of a breakwater. But this bit here, this is on a lot of scenery. You can actually add rocks. It's not too difficult. You can add rocks to this and improve it significantly, and you'd end up getting a lot more people purchase it if it is more accurate and not missing these things. Look at that. Who's on approach now? We're going to get a sunset shot. There's some lights in the distance over the calm waters of Miyazaki. Digging through at the moment, looking for airport information. Jesus. You know what? I can't see any pappies on the Navigraph charts. Look at this. You go to Navigraph. So the beautiful thing they give you is like an overlay. There are no pappies there. And for runway 09, there are no pappies. Approach light beacons and circling guidance lights are used at this airport, so they are missing. There is something missing here. Wonder if that's how they got away with it though. Stop bar lights, the Sierra 6 US, runway guard lights. Oh, that's not really in relation to this too much. So the circling lights we're looking for, these stars, these two circling guidance lights, these big stars here on the approach, on the other side for runway 09. There should be the 3 bars there and the approach light beacons. But none of them were present, which is a shame, because that's quite key. And if they haven't put them in here, then they haven't put them into Kagoshima either. Kagoshima is very, very, very nice. And to be fair, what we've seen so far from Miyazaki, with the exception of those emissions, is quite nice. They're not massively expensive for a package. I think it's about 20 quid, but it's not too... I don't know. Is it worth that much, that amount? I'm not certain.
AP21, turn right heading 340.
340, AP101.
Dash 105, sorry, RJFK. Dash 105, clear via Demio arrival, exit RAB, November approach.
Confirm Demio arrival.
I found Demio arrival.
Good, Demio arrival and the Demio arrival. Expect on MP runway 10, Dynasty 105.
Slow approach for the 737, isn't it? Yeah, to be fair, we didn't need pappies. We managed to get it working. We made it work. Jim, have a good one. Yeah, the bit we looked at just then, the satellite image looked like they could be pappies. So perhaps the day the picture was taken on Navigraph they were US and serviceable, but actually they should be there. I don't know. I'm not convinced there would be an airport without pappies this day and age in somewhere like Japan. Here he comes. So I think we can probably be safe in saying it's missing pappies and it's also missing the circling approach guidance lights. Two quite significant things for the scenery. Very unique to the airport. Part of the approach procedures. And I certainly expect that in payware. Oh, look at that. Into the sunset. Landing long. Oh, very nice. Just got to get it stopped now. Right, while we're waiting for the next aircraft, we'll have another look around. Absolutely Cocolado, it's spectacular. Japan is just really nice to fly around in the sim. No matter where you are, there's some really good freeware sceneries available for places like Fukuoka, Sapporo, New Chitos. Improvements to Tokyo Haneda. There's incredible Dezeki Designs Tokyo Narita Airport scenery as well for Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's a lot. Japan is very well covered with a spectacular, wonderful landscape, very scenic landscape, but also great scenery add-ons as well, whether they be freeware or payware. There's a bit of weird behaviour. It's like they've modelled the fire truck, but it gets stuck. Oh, now it's coming out. It's like the building's not big enough for the actual fire truck. Weird. And it looked like there's an interior. There we are. It's a nice interior to the tower, but very generic. The glass textures could do with a lot of improvement because they don't really offer very much. But it's very rare you go into the tower and just sit there, isn't it? Let's face it. What do we got through the departures area as well? Let's go in and have a look. Again, very similar to Kagoshima with the way the interior has been modelled, so very good for performance. Jonathan, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. But I mean, the building looks really nice. The terminal building itself looks very, very good indeed. Can't fault this much for Japanese payware scenery. There's the moving flags. What's this? Wow. Oops. There we are, look at that. Windows 9 probably, Windows Vista. Haha. Those are the days. That's most likely to be the rail system. Yeah, that radar should be spinning. I'd like to see that spinning too. And nice to see they've added a Nissan garage, but they've not added the approach lights. I'm actually going to go wide here. I want to go beyond the airfield. I want to see if the lights light up. Should be.
Left 300, pitch 101.
Yeah. Oh, look at that for a view.
Bravo, cleared RLS 27 approach, pitch 101.
Yeah, and that's all that matters for me, MPS Game. It looks good from the outside, but you can see here, no pappies. So we can't tick that off. And the further we're going out, I'm expecting to see some lead-in lights. Similar to, what's it called? Kaitak, you know, with that scenery where you get the lights flashing away, helping you with that final section of the approach. Very similar sort of lighting system should be active on this particular runway here, 09, and it's not, which is a bit of a shame. So it's missing pappies and those approach lights. Very key. Zoom around sideways. Looks great though, in sunset. There are just things that are missing that shouldn't be missing. So could I recommend this one, Miyazaki? Possibly not. I'd have to look into Kagoshima again now to see if there's approach lead-in lights. I expect them to be there. Same with the pappies too. They're so vital. They it's not acceptable if they're missing. Oh, look at that for a view out. Spectacular. I do like Japan. Technobrain's Osaka Kansai, by contrast, just really good. But nothing is on the line or level of Hurry, Devco, Belfast, Glasgow, Edinburgh, that sort of thing. I'm sure we can all agree with that. That is a really nice escape scene. The missives, the lights, the interior inside looking in from the outside, as MPS Gaming said, that's pretty nice. How many have we got on approach here? Last one, Peach 181.
Tokyo Center, Osprey 2472 is at the gate. Thanks very much for the ATC today.
Here we are. So we're going to disconnect from the VATSIM network in a second, and we will run a replay. Watch this. Once this guy's landed, we'll disappear into... Where is it? I've got to probably turn off on Volanta end flight. There we go. Otherwise it's going to retrack. And we want a bat sunset, don't we? Like that. That's a good time. So I'm just going to disconnect from the VATSIM network and I'm going to reconnect as observer mode. So now we can still hear everything going on, but we're completely invisible. We can still see stuff. Yes, there are 2 Osaka Kansai sceneries. The one that you want is the Technobrain one. It's much better. We're going to go to drone camera. Turn off the follow mode. It's been a while since we've done a replay, isn't it, folks? Let's do one today. While he's on approach, we're invisible to him, by the way, so we're not going to trigger anything. Anything's going to go crazy. We're going to rewind our aeroplane, and I'm just going to hit play. So we're now replaying in the background somewhere off in the distance. If I go into the aeroplane, we just need to reset some of these.
Clear for RNP Zulu runway 10 approach, and 105.
I say it doesn't remember any of these settings, sadly, so you have to, with Sky Dolly, give it a kick up the backside sometimes and remind it. Then we can watch this approach. Air Peach.
Runway 27 cleared to land, Air Peach 181.
Doc, yeah, I think there, Osaka Kansai, somebody was I think it was a port from P3D, but it was a very quickly done port. One of their first products I think they brought to MSFS, so it lacked quite a bit of detail. Doesn't look anywhere near as good as what we've seen at Technobrain's Osaka Kansai, that's for sure. Goodness me, how slow is this approach? Thought we were slow. Excuse the bad drone camera work there. Can be a wee bit fiddly at times. Here he comes. Oh, don't sink, don't sink. And he's down. Nice. Bang on the touchdown zone there from Air Peach.
Linia 770 Rico direct to Saiki. Linia 770 Rico direct to Saiki, Sierra Alpha Echo Kilo India.
Alright, so where are we? We'll go here. Let's see, what view do we want, folks? That's probably quite a nice one. Bad Joe, well, welcome back. So we can still hear stuff, but we're completely invisible. So we're not allowed to transmit or anything like that because we will still be heard on VATSIM. And they'll get a bit confused. If the controllers are watching today, thank you very much. Providing us with really good ATC throughout. Very, very appreciated. Not bad bearing in mind we hand flew this entire ILS approach, is it? Look at that for an approach. Wonderful. Bingo. Oops, better close that landing rate monitor. Don't want that to be another saved. Would you like to force quit LRM? Yes. Happy days. And then from the outside, you guys want to see a replay of it very quickly. It's probably where the Sky Dolly's starting to retract the flaps. Has a tendency to do that. Oh, there's the touchdown zone. Here we go. Boom, lovely. There we have it. Miyazaki, our final destination today. So we departed Fly2 High's Kagoshima Airport scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator, brand new. Really, really nice, but there are a couple things that we need to investigate further. Making sure that it's got PAPIs, making sure it's got those circling approach leading lights. Very, very important. If they do, I can highly recommend Kagoshima. Technobrain's Osaka Kansai, wonderful airport, really, really good. I highly recommend that. First time seeing it, purchased it specifically for today. Awesome bit of scenery. So yeah, another one that we can recommend and add to the list. This one, Miyazaki, beautiful location, fantastic scenery, really nice emissives at the terminal building. But again, it's missing those circling approach lights. It's missing the PAPIs. They're important. So I'd like to see Fly2 High get those added in and work on those approach lights and things like that, because they are key to the flight sim experience, aren't they? Thanks to Flight Sim Mike for joining us as a channel member. Really appreciate it. Oh, look, weird. Well, that weird thing where the times just randomly reset itself. Oh, no idea why it's done that. We had that the other day as well. Welcome to all of our new subscribers. Gav for dropping a super chat, 5E60 as well for the super chat, and Andrew B as well. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to check my emails, but hopefully we get to preview the new INI scene. Let's have a look. I can check while we're live. Why not? Still nothing yet. Hoping that we get to enjoy the new INI Builds Ibiza scenery as a bit of a preview, but if not, we're going to have to come up with something quite quickly as a backup. But in the meantime, as always, folks, thank you very much for watching. Thanks to our controllers. Thanks to everyone who flew along. And I'll see you very soon. Take care and enjoy the start of the weekend.